Welcome, 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 everybody. What a day we have ahead of us today. Welcome back to the Underpeel. I'm joined here today by Penguin.
Hello, hello.
And we are going to be casting today's matches. First things first, we've got MVT versus the Delete Haters. Judging based on, let me see here, we have maps already set to go. Our first map of the day is going to be Haven, a map that both teams have pretty highly excelled on. Penguin, what are you thinking the big thing of today is going to be between these two teams? What's going to be the decision or the decider of who's going to win today's matches?
I have a feeling this matchup is going to be very momentum based. Whoever gets off to a good head start on either side is going to have a big advantage overall in the map. I think controlling the long space and making sure that you're able to contest it early is really important in Haven. So whoever can strike first will probably win.
Well, let's take a close look and see how it goes then. Let's see. Production team is ready to go.
Looks like we're into the map.
Immediately off the bat, we see Zora going for the neon pick. Pretty common for Delete Haters to run this comp. I mean, both teams have their maps, their team compositions already pretty well established here.
Yeah, it looks
they
like
know what they like to play.
Looks like MVT are going to go for the traditional Haven comp with the Omen Breach. Probably Sova from Just Tired, but we haven't seen them locked in yet. And it's just that Neon on the other side from Delete Haters. Changing it up. Yeah, there's the Sova from Just Tired, fully locked in.
Yeah, MVT's always had this this composition set up to go. They do have, looks like they've got a sub today though. They've subbed out El Sierra for Raffi.
Interesting. I'm not too familiar with Raffi's gameplay, but I'm sure they will perform well enough to help MVT through this map.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who's calling for MVT? I think it's Woodrow, right?
It's usually going to be the initiator player, so it'd be Woodrow or Tired.
Okay.
The other option I see it occasionally would be more communal communication style. We've seen in previous clear comms rounds that MVT is not above allowing everyone to do their part in making the call.
Yeah, and it looks like MVT are going to posture towards A, going to try and contest this A long space off rip. Pretty traditional for pistol round on Haven, but Delete Haters are in position to counter with 4 here. They can end up being the only one across the map setting up, and they will come over, so it's going to be a 5v5 bloodbath on A.
Scanning ahead.
Yep, this early A play trading darts immediately. No information given up off the bat. But Delete Haters going to assume control of this A space, forcing MVT to rotate out.
It's a good read by MVT though. Moving away from the stack site. Rotates coming over from Delete Haters. Zora already in place to defend the C site.
As we have MVT stacking up into the garage. They're going to break this trip, and that's going to cause their execute. But Zora's already on site. The flash comes out from Woodrow. They're not fully ready for this defense. Zora dodging the utility. That's going to send MVT immediately out of garage. They're not interested in taking that space anymore.
completely stopped on that C hit, resetting towards A, but Delete Haters have the read as well. 4 rotated, Pen Flash being the one late player, making sure there's not a lurk from Zon.
A little bit low on time here. 30 seconds left in the round. Zora gets the pick, but Woodrow and Zon there to come in with kills of their own. They get traded out on the take. Raffi coming in with a kill of their own. Now left alone on site, grabs Pen Flash.
Omen v Omen, both players super low. And Rise Kick finds the kill. Great first round from both teams. Adaptation from Delete Haters, finding the rotates in time to stop MBT coming onto sites.
Yep, they're just able to make that call and commit to it. Even without an insert up A long, they were still able to understand what's going on, have that information.
Here.
It looks like a more traditional spread from MBT. Gonna spread out, try and take long control. Posturing towards mid as well.
Yeah, we've got Cezora with this aggressive Vandal buy. Not looking to take any prisoners on this match. Defense here smokes off Garage as MBT tries to stack up towards the position. We're looking more towards C than anything else right now. Delete Haters not having taken any space in the enemy territory.
Yeah, MBT all surrounding the C site, but Cezora is here with the Vandal. Could come in clutch if they try and flood out here. 4 players regrouping towards C long. Zon just holding that mid space.
But look at that though, an action as simple as breaking the Garage trip has drawn the rotates off of A site. MBT are hitting into a stacked site here as we've got multiple players on C ready to defend the spot. Cezora picks up 2 as they try to come out. And there it is, Cezora for a 3rd, Pen Flash for the 4th. Zon is left all alone coming out of Garage, but Takina is ready for getting the kill out of Garage. Delete Haters are going to flawless their force buy.
Yeah, that Vandal from Cezora, absolutely critical in shutting down that C hit. Tried to pressure the map from backside, flood in, but they were just not able to move past it. Great team play from Delete Haters, all able to rotate over off that util breakage.
Heading into the bonus round for Delete Haters, MBT is going to have to come up with a funky strategy if they want to win this one. Excuse me, it's the other way around. I'm silly. Delete Haters are going to have to express some creativity here, but they do have some good guns heading into this round. Crazed and Minimoth going to trade some damage up on the long.
They're just all holding towards site. Delete Haters, very patient, very precise with their gameplay. Gonna re-clear long with the drone. Bombs moving away from A, but they might come back if no one gets spotted here. Minimoth does get spotted by the drone though. That might actually help MVT to sell this A fake. It's holding 3 players towards A while the rest of MVT moves over towards C. Only Takina here.
Camera taken out.
They're gonna have to give up C site, play for retake.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Delete Haters, still 3 of their players on the A side, while MVT is largely moved towards C. Minimoth's gonna get the opening pick onto the A side and fade back. Fade down short, couldn't dash out the way before Crazed gets the refrag.
30 seconds left.
Ooh. Pen Flash caught walking away. Might give Zana timing here to find Takina.
Both players in Garage, neither aware of each other.
Zon very patient, trying to find a second here.
Even grabs one from Garage Takina, doesn't get punished for it and gets a second on the way out. Pen Flash from CT, picking up a kill, giving Takina all the attention to make that a 1 bonus round for the Delete Haters. Delete Haters up 3-0 heading into round 4 here. MBT have got to figure out some kind of counter to Delete Hater's style. What do you think they should be looking for here? What are we seeing on the minimap? I'm seeing they're not really taking the space in the early lanes.
Yeah, they're getting stumped towards A. They got early A pressure, but then just did not commit to the site. They didn't feel like they had enough pressure. This time they're going to speed up towards C. Trip, dashed over by Minimoth. Completely giving up sight, and they will cure it. It's going to be 5v5 retake. Zon's caught on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, Zon's going to make it a 5 versus 4. They were aware of that A main pressure. Penflash pushed all the way up the flank here. Can Just Tired find the kill, or are they going to get caught out on the timing? Hit by the stun. Penflash gets the headshot. Takina out of CT grabs 2. 1 versus 5 for Rafi.
Sheriff. Flushed out by Penflash, and that will be a flawless round from Delete Haters. Getting off to a great start in this match.
Delete Haters up 4-0 on their map pick of Haven here.
Will be a buy up from NBT. Let's see what they can do with a couple extra stronger guns.
This goes here.
But from Delete Haters, it does seem to be just the same default. Takina holding all the space towards C and Garage. Early contesting towards A from the rest of the team.
That aggressive spy cam down C-Long is getting a lot of value for the Delete Haters as well. They're able to allow Cypher to hold that entire position by themselves here. As Mini's Val team pushes out onto the C site. Penflash grabs Minimouth, dropping down from the generator, but Rafi's there for the trade. Tired gets a pick on the site, but Rice Cake is there to push back. There it is, Woodrow with the trade. Takina takes out Zon, Cypher v Cypher.
Player standing.
Woodrow takes out Crazed, as now we're heading into a 2v1. MVT favored to win this round. Zon giving away some info there in Garage. Excuse me, Takina. I'm getting the ciphers mixed up. Excuse me.
This might actually be a good plan for Takina, though. It's really awkward for them to come back around. Recon Darwin is now clear. Finds one, dodges the stun. Now down to a 1v1 between Woodrow and Takina.
Takina's gonna stick it. Oh my god! Gets the defuse! 5-0 for Delete Haters!
Woodrow just being a little bit too patient with that flash. Maybe thought they were faking, but Takina with the patience to stick it out in the face of Woodrow.
The amount of confidence it takes to pull off a play like that. What an amazing, amazing start for WDH here in this first map.
And it looked good for MBT there. They had great trades going into B site, making it to a 2v1. But the plant spot was a little bit awkward with them not having a good way to come back out onto site and clear that bomb.
So Zora posted up with the operators, gonna catch one on A long. Immediately putting MBT at a disadvantage here. Delete Haters not taking any prisoners this game. They are here to win. Zon gets caught out by Penflash in mid. And 20 seconds into the round, we have a checkmate position for W Delete Haters. Make that double checkmate as we go into 5v2.
Gotta go.
And there's a full rotate from Delete Haters, but they've realized they've over-rotated, sending some people back towards the other site.
Wouldn't be too worried though, as long as we can stay grouped up on the defense side. We find our duo and play our trades. This should be a 1 round.
Yeah. Looks like MVT are just waiting, hoping that someone from Delete Haters tries to get a little bit too aggressive and give up a pick back. Even with 1 or 2 picks, it's still a really difficult round for MVT to come back from, and it might just turn into a save
30
here.
seconds left.
Right. No smokes to the name. Only some recon and some stun. Not enough to turn this round around without some mistakes from the defense side.
So coming into the next round, Minimoth is one off ult, so they might try and grab knives, and
10
then
seconds
MBT
left.
also sitting on 4 other ults, so I want to
Yeah.
see some of those committed towards a site, try and take down some of this util towards C maybe, or just shove it in A.
It's going to be pretty difficult, though. We do have the Rolling Thunder coming in from Penflash just as well. It's going to be a situation. First breach to use ultimate is going to lose the exchange. Timeout for MBT here. What do you think their plan is going to be? I mean, obviously using those ultimates, getting on site with the Blade Storm from Minimoth is going to be a plan. But what do you think they're going to look towards overall macro-wise heading into this next round?
I think the rounds they've had the most success on so far were the rounds where they just fast hit a site. The round where they went up B, found B site almost fully open, and then the same thing on C, dashing out onto site, getting bombed down. It was just those post plants they were tripping up on. So I want to see a couple faster rounds out of them. Maybe grab knives towards C long, push out, do a C split, or grab knives C long, walk up into B.
I could see something like that going pretty darn well for MVT. Let's hope they can find that play. But
Yeah,
with a minute
Flash
to...
holding this breach ult is quite a threat on the retake, though. So it's awkward trying to get bombed down, not knowing where to play afterwards.
Right. Yeah. After a minute time to calm down and recollect, MVT looks to be posing up towards mid more than anything that we can see here. So maybe this fast B hit, maybe finding this early space here is what they're looking for.
Found the spot.
Zora finding a pick on Zon early into the round. It's immediately pushing MVT towards the A site.
It's a good read, though. The lead haters leaving A site completely uncontested, planning to take retake with the breach ult.
The Neural Theft comes in, and Woodrow uses the Rolling Thunder for the site execute.
Just Hard's able to find the Cypher here. They have Silver ult to play for post plant. Stun coming up from Woodrow to contest that area.
And we have full site control here, but it seems like MBT's in the disadvantage coming out of this retake here. So Zora and Rice Cake pushing out, get one pick into hell. Minimoth swinging out of short with timing, grabs one, but gets traded out for two by Penflash.
It's an amazing retake, able to fully clear site, get back site control, find Raffi in a 1v4, and then the same thing happened to Woodrow down in long, cut off and hit with multiple stuns from Zora and Penflash.
Right. 3 ultimates invested into that retake. I would say more than worth if they want to keeping up this flawless advantage.
And it looks like the knives are going to come out this round instead of the previous round. Just a shorty in full armor for Minimoth. Everyone else looking like they have a rifle except for Zon. Kraz is one off ult, so if they find a pick or get an orb somewhere,
Get out of my way.
that could be deadly in the post plant or in a retake as well.
Yeah, that Hunter's Fury should clear off any planter, give enough time for rotations, or even get a few picks. MVT posting up into the A main space here, into A lobby. That brick smoke's going to give them some time. Crazed gets caught off guard by Minimoth's wide swing.
I know exactly.
Are they going to expect Zora here?
Seems they found Zora. The Hunter's Fury comes in and does tag a Penflash, gets the kill for it from Just Tired. We're going to give up the A site here. Woodrow takes Zora on the way out, but Takina's there for the trade. 4 versus 2 favoring MVT for the round.
Last player standing.
There we go. Minimoth stacked up on top of the box here. Grabs a third into CT. We found our footing. MVT grabs their first round of the series.
Yeah, it was a great job able to find that pick towards long and then move up, clear space. They were aware that Zora could have been on site holding short. And then the util perfectly coming out, clearing back site, pushing everyone out. And then the flood came out from MVT to get all of site controlled.
Yes, this should do.
That's what they're going to need to get the 5 rounds to maybe make this a closer game.
We've seen
Here.
MBT come back. I mean, we've seen them have these runs. They'll lose a few rounds. They find their footing. They find their strategy, what works for them, and they execute it to a T. But Craze there with an early Hunter's Fury takes out Raffi through the wall. Sazora picking up Minimoth in mid, but just tired. Fights back with 2 kills into mid. But Takina takes that aggressive swing out of Garage and finds one of their own. Now we're 2 versus 3, favoring Delete Haters.
And Woodrow's tagged up really low, so it's more like a 1.2 versus 3.
There it is. Just tired, getting a pick onto A, but Pen flashes there to make sure those numbers don't stay up. Putting MVT right back down to a 7-round difference.
And Delete Haters, they're just doing a great job of playing off each other. No kill going untraded. It's interesting that they're able to get up so far on this defense side where Haven is usually a attack-sided map.
Revealing area.
Again, Delete Haters, they're going to take this aggressive control down C long. They get that spy cam down there. They get all the information they need to stack towards B and A site. Breaking that tripwire in mid. We're seeing some minor rotates, but Delete Haters largely holding position. Still 2 players committed to the A site.
Just tired, just walking up along with the bomb solos. Kind of risky. If it goes down, this could be unrecoverable from MVT. They are slowly creeping up. They're worried about that op line from Sazora.
Just a matter of finding Sazora first, but Sazora's not even holding the op anymore. Here we go. Short Sazora gets one. Craze there to swing off and get that angle. Picks up 2, putting MVT in a 5 versus 3. Never mind, Zon gets a lurk kill up on the B site.
Cage triggered.
With these timings, Delete Haters are all over it, aware that that's going to push the player up short.
Last player standing.
Pen flash finding Zon on the lurk.
It's Raffi all alone in A lobby.
10
Right,
seconds
MVT's,
left.
First aid
MVT's substitute controller player here, forced to save in the round. And that's going to be at round 10, 9-1, Delete Haters advantage.
I mean, Delete Haters just had a perfect cross setup in that short area. And the rotates came over from all over the other sites. Takina just locking down the entirety of C and controlling all of Garage. They're able to play almost 4 towards A, not having to worry about that other site.
That goes there.
And now I remember what you were talking about earlier. These faster site executes are going to probably favor MBT, give Delete Haters less time to sink into positions and get their catch timings of their own. So seeing them again with a more default style play is a little concerning here.
I think they found the adaptation. They drew a bunch of rotates over to A and then worked over towards C, breaking util, making sure Takina can't just hold all of C all by themselves.
Spike
Right.
Just
planted.
might get caught out in mid here. No, finds Rice Cake. And now they're free to lurk up all through mid. Delete Haters are going to group up towards CT, all 4 of them. Grouping for this retake. MBT falling back into long.
4 versus 4 heading into this retake here from Delete Haters. They catch Just Tired coming in from mid.
Flash out.
And here comes in the defuse against the one-way though from Raffi.
Takina's still sticking.
Last player
Takina's still
standing.
sticking! And they will get it. Good coverage from Sazora.
Last
Um,
round.
I think
before the
that is the
switch.
adaptation MBT
Spend what
needs.
you got.
It's just they might have given up too much site control. That was a great bait from Sazora in Garage. Faking that they were running over to site to bait out Just Tired's lurk from Garage.
It's difficult because they executed onto the A site, but they hadn't found a contact when Minimoth had swung out onto A, and got picked off, lost them the advantage. But then Just Tired comes back in mid to even up the numbers, and then again, the first contact that they have after that point is in garage. We're gonna see in this next round, Cesora using the ultimate down long does get traded out though, 1-1. But Pen Flash swinging out mid is gonna catch a pick of their own.
Delete here just immediately identifying the weakness in their play. They're leaving C Long a little bit too uncontested and immediately adjusting to fight for it. 3v2. Omen ult is here in heaven.
Rotation comes in instantly thanks to the X button.
Again, that has a
One
great
enemy
point.
remaining.
Rice Cake
Drop
drops
Spike
heaven.
down A.
Finding both of them on site. What a retake.
At the
What a
half.
trap.
At the
Switching
half,
sides.
11-1, favoring Delete Haters heading into their attack half. I mean, I'd say I'm speechless, but I'm still talking right now. Delete Haters up 10 rounds against MVT, the #1 seed in the league. What do you think is going to be? I mean, at this point, it's going to become a mental game for MVT. They'll have to hold true. If they want to take this map, they'll have to lock back in, re-clear their heads, and do their best here.
Absolutely. I think a good start would be finding the pistol here. They're able to secure pistol bonus, those kinds of rounds. It'll be good to get their mental back in check. Might find some momentum in the favor of MVT.
All right, I do hope they don't give up. Just due to the round differential, MVT is a strong, solid team. They are able to chain rounds together quickly as long as they build that momentum.
Absolutely, but Delete Haters already moving towards the C site. Crafty solo on site, has a couple trips, and Zon is here to help.
Yep, we do have the setup from Zon happening right now, but they're not pushing out into it just yet. Pen Flash swings out, gets the right-click kill on Zon, and Arafi again! 2 for Pen Flash, but not even getting traded out by it. Woodrow gets traded by Craze for Rice.
I mean, the Flash is just going back and forth, but Delete Haters had so much more util. Trying to stem the tide with the Omen Flash. Zon there and time to help, but it was just too much. They could not hold the site. Zora's already got a fast rotate through garage. 3 of the other players towards long.
One enemy
With the
remaining.
timing on it as well. Stunning Minimoth. Cesora takes the pick, but Just Tired's there to trade it. Now in a 1 versus 3 on this
Standing
defuse.
ahead. Concentrate, Sova.
On low time, Just Tired can't make this defuse happen without taking the damage and losing the pistol round. MVT are on, or excuse me,
Match
W
point.
Delete Haters are on match point now, 12-1.
I mean, let's not forget that this was Delete Haters' map pick, so it makes sense
Absolutely.
that they're way up going into this, but I thought it'd be at least a little bit closer.
I mean, there's no question about it. Cesora is a very strong Neon player. Neon on Haven is an extremely powerful combination, especially with
I
Pen
will
Flash, the
find.
team's IGL on Breach here.
Absolutely, they're just working so well together. Zora is able to rotate almost everywhere on the map. And MVT lurking out towards C, trying to contest that space.
And they are going to get it as well. All the way down C long here, MVT.
Tripwire destroyed.
They forced into this round, get some chip damage, but not enough to get the kills. Grace is only down a little bit. Cesora swings long, almost catches the timing on Zon with that Vandal. Rafi also down long, can grab one, but can't get the second. Cesora having killed Zon. We're going to get the C site here. 4
Spike
versus 3
planted.
heading into this post plant, but they don't know about Just Tired is already back on site. Woodrow with the stinger kill onto Pen Flash. And now we're just playing down long. Minimoth catches timing onto Takina. Catches that lurk kill. Cesora's there ready to trade it out.
That one way on the bomb makes this so difficult though. A tap trying to bait out a peek.
Last player
Powerful
standing.
post plant situation for Delete Haters here. Just Tired again, left in a 1 versus 2 to defuse the spike. The Vandal swings out, but with a stinger, there's nothing can be done. Cesora is going to win it 13-1 for Delete Haters.
I mean, what a start for Delete Haters. 13-1 from the first map.
I don't know that it could have gone better for them than hoped.
I mean, this is going to come down to MBT being able to shake it off, work into the next map, not have to worry about anything that happened in Haven.
Recognize that that was Delete Hater's pick. They expected to win that map. And now we're going to head into MVT's map pick, Abyss. That is for map 2.
I mean, MVT have been solid so far on Abyss. Just Tired and Minimoth have been able to combine for a lot of space on both sides of the map. Be interesting to see if they're able to stem the tide of Delete Haters going into this.
I'm gonna take a quick moment, let everyone know production is ready.
I think we're gonna take a short break and flash. So looking for it.
I mean, all right, 5-minute break coming in from for this game. Let's just talk. I mean, we can talk a little bit about that opening performance from Delete Haters onto Haven. 13-1 in and of itself is pretty impressive, but what I really saw that stood out was their overall macro, their rotations. They wasted no time. As confident as they were, as confident as they could have been on every rotation they made. I mean, Pet and Flash, the IGL for the team, definitely the brains behind those rotations that led to so many round wins on their defense half.
Absolutely. They were consistent with their rotates, and they were just taking their fights as a team. No one was trying to take solo fights. There was always someone to trade with them, util coming out at the same time. Overall, it just looked like Delete Haters were working stronger as a team. But also, I can't fault Tekinna there. They were just able to secure almost half the map and make it so easy for Delete Haters to rotate off.
Yeah, that entire that C long cam protocol, extremely strong when it goes unpunished. Gives them about as much information as they could ever want in terms of when and how to rotate.
Absolutely. I mean, with the cam up that far down long, it's almost like having 2 players on that C site.
Right. So much active information, right? Even if we're all the way down in C lobby, that's not as much of a threat. But when we take the time to walk into long, that camera will immediately cause a change in the defense strategy.
Yeah, with that rush from Sazora able to run all the way over and just immediately get onto the other site, it's almost like having a Yoru with the TP.
Right.
Like, I think Frog.gif, when they had Breeze in the map pool, I guess it was Penguin.png back then, the strongest part of their comp with having Sonus on Neon, and I think it was Frogburger on Yoru, was that no matter what site you hit, there was always 2 people able to get there almost immediately. So it's a little bit of that coming out from Delete Haters. Just always able to reinforce their site in time to stem the tide of the hit.
All right, we're almost ready here, heading into this this second map, this Abyss MVT's pick for the series here. Now, I haven't gotten the chance to see either of these teams play Abyss. I don't know if you have, But what do you imagine we can expect if we have any information on that?
From what I've seen, the retakes from MVT have been really strong in Abyss. They've done a great job of being able to take space back, as well as finding opening picks towards that C site. Putting Minimoth on angles where they could find an opening pick is super critical for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're able to just shut down any push towards A with the Cypher. So attack-wise, I don't remember how well they were able to push in space. Who's on the harbor? Interesting.
Zon, famously a Cypher proponent, actually dislikes playing not just Cypher, but Sentinels in general on Abyss. I've gotten the chance to talk with him about it a couple of times. The theory being that Cypher's tripwire doesn't have enough capability on B site to actually truly anchor it down, and I can see the thinking in that. The wall smokes from Harbor are going to be pretty strong, comboed with Omen's utility as well.
Yeah, just able to get. I mean, they are also starting attacker sided, so having those double smokes for attack is going to be very helpful to get them an early lead.
Mm-hmm.
Penflash is currently hovering a Viper, and they will lock it in. So it's an interesting team comp from the lead haters. So Zora on an ISO as well.
Yeah, Delete Hitters heading in with the I like the ISO Sova combination. I know there's a few util combos you can do with ISO's Vulnerable and Sova's Shock Bolt.
Yeah, as well with the Viper Molly.
Absolutely.
Do massive damage.
We have some claims here that Penflash's Viper bot frags on Abyss. Let's see just how accurate those claims are heading into this map too.
Penflash immediately with the Viper Orb, they will mess it up. So Viper Orb will be out of this round for, or at least, I wonder where it was going. It looked like it was planned to land front side A. So
Well, I mean, we can certainly think about where it was going, but I'm more concerned with where it is.
that is true. Default planet.
Gotcha. Well, a lineup that will go unseen for this round as we have that aggressive wall down into B main. Let's see what we have here. Pistol round, MBT making their space into B main.
Delete haters do have a good read on this. 3 players already here. Not really contesting the early space. So it looks like they are waiting for them to come up. MVT thinking better of it. And they're going to move back towards A. Very quiet start to this round. Yeah, and MVT, all 5 grouping up in this A main space.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing a similar defensive protocol from Haven that we're seeing here from WDH. Not actively taking any space, but opting to fast rotate. And here comes the execute onto the A site. The dart's going to come out and reveal 2 backside. Minimoth taking some shots. Not going to find a kill though. Takina's there to kill. Cezora there grabs Raffi and re-ups the shield. Zon trying to get a kill in the backside. Grabs two for the trouble.
Thug. 30 seconds left.
Goes
One
Zon left
enemy
alone on
remaining.
Plant.
Spike down
Fine.
A.
caught mid reload.
One enemy remaining.
Tired in a 1v1.
Grabs
Flash.
2.
Good headshot to shut that down and find the first round for Delete haters.
Similar to what we saw on the previous map as well, that opening pistol round was extremely close overall. Here we go with this this orb lineup. Let's see if it lands.
Hey!
I'll tell you what, that looks like it. That does look like it would extend far enough to the default. Maybe not. Maybe it's like it's right on that line.
Yeah. I think it's there to try and force them around toward bridge side, which is a bit more awkward for the attackers to come out onto.
Comes the aggression into mid as Mini's Val team looking to make space as early as possible, all the way up into A main, all the way up into mid now.
MVT threatening events lurk. Trying to draw some rotates over towards A.
We've seen this type of play before as well. Zahn walking up with the Sheriff. Trying to make some mid-space, but can't commit. I'm not going to commit to it.
Meanwhile, Minimouth is just holding A space, trying to wait, see if anyone tries to take early space and punish them for it. But Delete Haters are playing very patient.
You see MBT's plan coming out here. Woodrow's stunned into A heaven, doesn't hit Craze, does they swing out into Craze, does grab one, make it two. Suzora swinging out for the third. A flawless round for Delete Haters as MBT's eco strat through vents can't make the kills that they need.
I mean, I feel like it was a good strat. They just hit the brick wall of Kraz. Who knows? Coming into this third round, it will be a bonus. Orbed a little bit off.
I've had I've had the opportunity to talk to Kraz a good bit about her solo play. Practicing a lot of tech and a lot of lineups has become a pretty, I'd say a very respectable Sova player throughout the course of this tournament run from Delete Haters.
She's definitely carrying her own weight.
Yeah, not just mechanically, but with the utility as well.
MVT up in mid. Throw peek out. Finds tired. Great shot. Good pick off for Delete Haters.
Screen down.
The attacker's in a bit of an awkward situation. Minimoth stuck in this mid spot. Maybe looking for a mid lurk late. Their right kick is ready to punish anyone who walks up here. Meanwhile, over at B, Zahn does have some space. The wall isn't perfect. Full vision Kevin.
On the Minimoth, 10 flash trying to hold down the site. Does get one, but gets traded up by Woodrow.
Clearing out! Destabilizing.
MBT at their 2 versus 4 disadvantage here are going to try to get this plant down.
30 seconds left.
Feeling just a little claustrophobic here as the retake comes
One
in.
enemy remaining.
Bomb's not going to go down on this round as Delete Haters are going to win this bonus round as well.
And it's looking like a little bit of even again. The rotates coming in for both for Delete Haters, always having numbers up on that retake situation.
MBT are going to call their first time out of the half here, or first time out of map 2, second of the series here. I don't know. What do you think they're discussing here regards to their attack protocol?
Right here.
I feel like right now they're kind of all getting split up as they're trying to take space. There's not like a coordinated front going out anywhere. They're getting caught out, taking solo fights. It's interesting to see what their adaptation is. It might just be a straight sight hit, just speed up. Might be the plan here.
Mm-hmm.
But deleters have been fast rotating, so a fake would also be very useful. Like maybe just sending Zahn over to one of the sites, like maybe A, fake with the wall while everyone walks up on B.
Right here.
And it looks like MBT are going to speed up towards A. All 5 crossing outside A main.
There goes that fast hit we were talking about just a moment ago. Minimoth going to dash out immediately. We see that dart come out. It's going to reveal our 2 players backside. But Suzora is there, ready to kill. Hungry for more, grabs a third. Can't get the fourth. Woodrow with the frenzy. 3 versus 2. Delete Haters on the advantage.
Last player
Swinging
standing.
out of heaven, killing the planter.
Down A.
Zahn left in a 1v3, now 1v2 after killing 10 flash. Oh, get behind the wall. Behind the wall. Craze is going to go down to the drone.
1v1, they're looking the wrong direction. The Cove comes out. Might have just saved their life.
Rice Cake showing no information here. Jumping up and over here. Up
I
against
suggest
Zahn.
you move.
Catches Zahn off guard, making that 4-0 delete haters.
That's so unfortunate. Zahn was being so patient, popping the ult at the last second, and only then does Rice Cake show their head popping over the top.
Tell you
I
what,
think they found him trying to pull out their gun again.
positioned properly, that ultimate is a really decent source of information in a 1v1, all things considered.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea. It's just the timing was so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. It's a testament to what you were mentioning before, that MBT can speed up just a little bit and they'll benefit greatly from it. If we throw that ultimate just a little earlier, we'll get the information we need. The ISO ultimate's going to come in right off the start of the round, helping to shut down this take, but Zahn is going to get the kill for it. Prey's taking care of Minimoth in heaven though. Even 4 versus 4. It's the side take, but never mind, just tired, and Woodrow taking one of their own. Raffi in mid gets the pick from the rotation. And that's going to be Rice Cake left alone in a 1 versus 4.
I mean, that could have been so bad. Zahn got caught out by the ISO ult, taking away all the smokes for the site hit. But winning that fight, they were able to bring up the wall again.
Yeah, managing to.
Everyone
I'll
else
tell you
was
what,
able to fight up behind it.
just tired. Rice Cake's unaware of the push through CT.
A second wind. Let your senses come alive.
That's a first round for MBT.
Sooner than the Haven match as well. Maybe they can find their footing that much quicker and get some rounds on the board before this half is over.
Absolutely. It looks like they are going to go for a fast A again. Minimoth just towards mid. Might try and find a pick. It was a surprisingly quiet game for Minimoth. 0-5 so far.
Some of the entry space Minimoth is ending up taking. Just tired with the early Hunter's Fury. Going to find tag onto Crazed, but no kills for it.
A dart to re-clear A main, not tagging anyone up. Information util traded back and forth. And we'll find him off to the right side of A main. But they don't know Cesar is here yet.
Yeah, no information. 40 seconds into the round, MBT have no idea where the full composition is set up, where the full defense is. We're going to be hitting into the Senti Viper combination here. Here it comes, the entry utility comes in from the shadows from Raffi. Cesar is there to trade it out. Grabs 2,
Spike
Pen
down,
Flash grabs
B.
another for just
One
tired to
enemy
trade it out.
It was a bit of an awkward breach ult, catching Zahn in that aggressive position. No real value found off it. Feels like MBT right now, they're a bit in their own head.
I should probably place some
Bit
stars in the
uncoordinated.
astral plane. I should. That'll work.
The lead here is able to get that early rotate from Zazora after
That'll
Zahn
work.
broke the
Recovering
turret.
it.
Let us hope that MBT can take a moment, refocus, and just work their preferred macro, work the map the way that they know how to. Oh, we're gonna see that KJ turret gets dropped, but Pen Flash is there to swing off of it. That early pick against Zahn, dropping one of our 2 controllers is gonna be
Toxin
huge.
screen down.
Just turret does break some util while MBT works his way up it. Zora gets the peek again. Finds Minimoth, but traded away by Woodrow. Down into a 3v4.
Toxins going up.
2 on both sides, so both sides are still quite strong against an attacker side hit. MBT are just still posturing towards mid, trying to find any aggressive picks that they can get before moving towards the site.
I mean, MVT, Yeah, we have this mid control, but we're not really doing as much as we would hope to with it.
Take flight.
A site was rather weak for about the past 10 seconds, but now we see the rotates coming back in, and again redirecting. These early rotations from delete haters are going to be winning them rounds as they go.
Miles,
Pen Flash drops down the wall and grabs Tired out for free. Util in hand.
Look at the delete haters. They have 3 players already here to hold the site.
Last
They try to
player
make their way up
standing.
the side, caught out by
Spike
Tina.
down B.
Raffy all alone into a triple peek from delete haters.
My priorities, they're
And it just may be delete haters early rotation style. I mean, we've seen them now on Haven, and we're seeing the same thing on Abyss. Just that slightest bit of contact when they have that numbers advantage is going to give them grounds to rotate fully, and we're seeing they get a lot of value out of these rotations.
Absolutely. I feel like it does leave them a bit open to a fake possibility, but MBT isn't taking full advantage of that. It looks like they are going to go for a rush towards B.
So the dart's going to come in from Just Tired onto the site executed. Minimoth dashes into sight. Pen Flash is there ready to catch out.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Cesora from Heaven grabs one, re-ups the shield, grabs a second,
One enemy remaining.
and a third. Make it 4. Cesora there to make 7-1 favor delete haters. And again, the exact same story. We see that early B contact come in, delete haters immediately rotating off, leaving Crazed in A Heaven as the sole defender.
Second time out from MBT here. What do you think they're going to talk about?
I mean, I would hope that they discuss the concept of these early rotations from delete haters, because that is every way in a day what they're most vulnerable to. Is their early rotations are leaving them very vulnerable on the A site, with Craze being the only one defending. Obviously staying in a defensible position of Heaven, but that won't mean much if MBT can find that pick or overpower into overheat into CT.
Absolutely. I mean, it's also, delete haters aren't afraid to just give up sight if they need to. They're willing
Right.
to give up sight and just play that full retake game. Normally on attack side, the Abyss playing retake either on B with spam from Heaven or over on A with Util is super critical, but the delete haters have been doing a great job of denying plant from MVT.
Yeah, I think I mean the utility required, right? They've got the ISO ultimate, they've got Sova's ultimate, they've got a lot of ultimates to play with here, so maybe retake wouldn't be a bad idea for them.
Come
So
into the
if
unknown.
that's what MVT are going for in this round, that fake hit won't be the worst thing in the world for delete haters, which is going to discourage MVT from doing the same thing in the future.
Pen Flash fell off!
It's going to fall off early into the round. What causes something like that? Oh my god, the ISO ultimate's going to catch Raffy early on. And it's going to fall to Raffy with the Sheriff.
With a Sheriff?
With a
What a
Sheriff.
fight! Dash out from Minimoth, taking early space up to Heaven, finding Crazed. Takina finds one at backside. The only one on this A side at the moment. Sight Flood comes out. They're working on that right side. Raffy over
Spike
top.
planted. Last player standing.
Takina did a great job of finding 3, all down to Rice Cake, not able to secure the round, but great damage overall.
Absolutely. We're going to see Minimoth on the board now with 3 kills of their own to speak of. Early whiff from Pen Flash off of the B site there.
I mean, that might just be the thing that beats them is gravity. Taking down delete haters, that's what you need.
I mean, when you hear the phrase "too big to fail," but I mean, if you're that big, sometimes when you fall down, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Cesora had a good reaction there, immediately ulting, trying to find a pick back to even the numbers. But Raffy did a great job, just immediately finding a win on that fight with just a Sheriff.
Right, staying calm and just using the panic to their advantage. MVT once again moving towards the A side, but that smoke's gonna stop them in their tracks. With no immediate ways of gaining information for cheap. We're entirely unsure what's on the other side of these smokes.
mean, and Delete Haters, they don't have to move. They have great util over towards B, Pen Flash holding the line. And there's no real way to work through mid without hitting that alarm bot, so... Once again, all three players here.
I suggest you move.
Armel's gonna come out as the site hit starts. Cut. Come out, hit with a vulnerable as well. Bit of an awkward position, caught up by Panda again.
Zora holding down backside as confident as can be.
Shot
Pen
With
flash.
Lurk up.
30
Finds one.
seconds left.
Oh,
Last player standing.
almost gets caught up by Craze, but Pen Flash with Lurk through mid. Counters out Raffi's Lurk. But Just Tired has made their way over to B. Trying to force a 1v3. Get this bomb down.
Right. 10 seconds left in the round
10
here
seconds
for
left.
Just Tired. Has to plant wherever can be done. With no time left in the round. Just Tired's going to commit the plant, but unfortunately that second plant's going to give Crazed all the information she needs to make that kill.
I mean, the util
Over there.
the players on A just completely shuts down that hit. There's a suck in the choke, so Minimoth is all separated on site, gonna able to come out and find that 1v1.
Over there.
Delete Haters looking strong, making sure that making sure that they're as coordinated as they can be. Pen Flash, I'm sure, still giving the in-game, the mid-round IGL comms here that are winning these rounds for Delete Haters.
I'd love to hear what's going on with MVT's comms.
Tell you
They're
what, this-
working the mid here, breaking the util. They're gonna fall back. Worried about that Zora peak. Meanwhile, Zahn's trying to work out over on B. Pen Flash commits the ult.
information denial from killing that alarm bot puts Delete Haters a little on edge. That Viper ultimate should help restore some of their confidence in the round as they posture up. Look at that. We've got two players in A link looking towards mid, and Rice Cake all the way back in B link. But drop the Viper ultimate here. Minimoth getting an op pick in mid.
Toxins going up.
It's a bit of a hero up as well.
Pen Flash popping and dropping. Getting that kill onto Zahn, trying to push through main. Shazora here stuck in mid against 3 MVT players. Just Tired's going to take the pick. That's going to give us full mid control.
Pen Flash in
Last
position to
player
fight two,
standing.
but they're not able to. B site completely open now. Kinda running over. Bomb's really far away though.
We've entirely flipped the map here. Minimoth up in CT. Takina falls down to the shock dart from Just Tired. My Sova Goat.
Last round
That's going to
before
be
the switch.
8-3 advantage Delete Haters here, but MVT picking up another round.
With this
before this
great
half
ult
switches
for
up.
MBT here. So a strong side hit could come out. I want to see them break the turret over towards B, make some more pressure, draw Zora away from that A site so A's a bit more weak.
Absolutely.
They walk onto it.
I mean, last time that we saw that turret break, Pen Flash was right there to swing and kill off of it, though.
Shadows traveling.
Oh, the turret's late this time. Not punished for it. But it is in a bit of a less optimal position. VT playing around the map, working the mid that worked for them last round.
So we've got this. We've got the early main space here. As we work through mid, we should start trying to gather as much information as we can for MVT. We are going to catch that Killjoy turret. Immediately, we see our A players reacting to it, but I'm sure they're being encouraged to stay.
Yeah, Zora looking like they're getting a bit antsy working towards spawn, but not even quite yet. This is crazy. MVT is full mid control. Almost looks like they're playing defense.
We've got the operator is going to take out Zora entirely
30
unprepared
seconds
for that.
left.
Yeah, there's just no way they would have expected Minimoth all the way up into.
No, I don't know
almost
anybody
spawn
who
like
would.
that. And they've split the map now. So whichever site they
Off
hit
your feet!
could
I'm
be
looking for
important.
this lurk.
Time is running really low though.
10 seconds left.
8
Tom's
seconds
gotta get
left
down
in the
here.
round.
They're gonna stick it.
Spike planted.
Crazed, swinging for a duel, does grab Just Tired, make that a
One
second.
enemy
Rappy's gonna
remaining.
fall off the map. And Zon is left alone on this lurk. They're aware of it as well. They're gonna choose to stick this, holding 2 players, holding Heaven.
You failed. Now sleep.
And that's gonna be a 9-3 half for Delete Haters.
Gun here.
I mean, that was
Switching
looking so good
sides.
for MBT. They had all the space. They were able to find a pick, but it was just too little, too late.
Had 20 seconds onto the clock. That becomes a much stronger round for MBT.
Absolutely. I mean, but this is looking better than the Haven game, so we'll see what they're able to do on defense.
I mean, I'll always believe in MBT. They've got that 9-3 curse. Like I said, they've got the potential to string rounds together so long as they can find some sense of momentum. If this pistol round goes their way, which I do imagine it will, we're going to be seeing, knocking on wood here, we're going to be seeing a potential comeback for MBT.
Absolutely. It looks like they're going to go for some aggressive A pressure, trying to take that space. But Delete Haters are in the perfect position to just do a B rush straight into the 2 players on B.
Rappy getting the
Find one.
early pick.
Cover going out.
Great start for MBT.
Just Tired for the full util buy on Just Tired here from Silva. Plant's going to go down in the safe position, planting for danger. Getting this information. We're unaware of Takina, but we've got 2 players fully known.
Creeping out on the ledge is Zon. Sora's unknown underneath them. Spotted
There it
now.
is.
Not able to find the kill.
The reaction shot. We've got 2 sheriffs on the attacking side. Zora and Penflash going to grab 1 apiece. Takina grabbing
remaining.
Woodrow. Zora grabbing Raffy. A dominant pistol round for Delete Haters.
I mean, Delete Haters just played that so perfectly. Everyone had a person to swing off them. Takina had Rice Kick down in mid, and Pen Flash swung off any contact for Zora. So it was almost a 2v1 for each fight. This range, I didn't really see much util come out from MBT. Woodrow was sitting on stun, I believe, and the recon dart also didn't come out.
May have been just a timing thing either. I don't know if I didn't see it or other.
Yeah, it might have just been immediately broken by someone.
Here we go, heading into this first this eco round from MBT.
Minimoth and Zon spotted trying to get aggressive into A main. Delete Haters are going to push him back and work towards this A site. The rotates will come in. Woodrow is here to help. It looks like they're just going to grab the orb and back off.
Delete Haters making their way through mid as they try to rotate, move towards a mid split here. That recon dart going to push them immediately though.
Alarm bot out.
They be executed on the B. We've got some rotates coming in.
2 players here, but no way to really contest the
down.
plant. Bomb will get placed down, and 2 players are all the way back, ready for spam. Zora with a Vandal trying to find some early fights. Stunned up. Finds some Minimoth getting killed.
Enough.
Make that 2, but Just Tired responding with 2 kills of their own. Pen Flash is going to kill Just
Last
Tired with
player
Rice Cake
standing.
falling off the map. So Zora left in a 1, Woodrow left in a 1 versus 2 against Zora with the Vandal. Pen Flash
that-
gotta pick it up.
That's so tough for Woodrow. Down with just a Sheriff against 2 full rifles. That's almost
mean-
impossible to win.
It's a difficult situation, but alleviated by the second map fall of our map 2 here, both on the side of Delete Haters as well. First one Pen Flash, now Rice Cake.
Those 2 quick kills from Just Tired just scared Rice Cake off the ledge, I guess. But we'll see. This is the first gun round for MBT. They are able to win this. It might be their first step to getting back into this round.
There's still hope. We got this aggressive push into B main. That should trigger an early rotate, I assume.
Absolutely. Penflash is here,
There.
in position to punish Minimoth for pushing
Poison's
up too
off.
far.
It's not a lurk position we often see. Penflash is here, ready to take Minimoth off guard, but neither player revealing themselves to each other. Come off a B site as Just Tired making this fight happen, but Penflash does grab Minimoth on this lurk.
Meanwhile, over on A, they are able to make a bunch of space towards site. Zora caught pushing up a little bit too far. Echidna has a great space up into heaven.
Left on low HP though.
Woodrow was posturing to do this aftershock. Stun comes out to catch Echidna. Floating up to heaven. Finds
Fully
him.
stunned, can't make that kill. MPT retaking his 4. Here we go, the util comes in. Here's that coordination that we know and love from MBT. Zon swinging out into A main. Craze grabs one and gets traded out. Woodrow and Just Tired are there to pick it up though.
Yeah, they did a great job of doing that retake. Able to secure fights almost 1v1. Aftershock to push Penflash out, stun up to find Echidna up in heaven. And they were able to just hold for that swing. The 2 players on right side A main.
That level of coordination is one that MBT is very well known for. I'm so happy to have seen it in that round. Now we can just maintain it, keep it running, and we should be they should be getting rounds very quickly here.
Absolutely. There was good damage dealt from Elite Haters, but it looks like they're the ones that are on a bit of a interesting buy to Kino on a Bulldog. Pushing up into mid, Minimoth already put into this aggressive position on the woodbox. Trying to punish the Kinda. Dash up. Rice Cake there to help. Not able to find anything in that mid space. On finding a pick over on the A site. That's off site.
Raffy with that
also
early
on the
swing.
other side.
Turning this into a 4 versus 3 for MBT, a much needed pick.
Bud will come up onto A. Zon in position to punish anyone pushing into
Last
back
player
site.
standing.
Does grab
Spike
2 for the
down
3K
A.
on the round, leaving Crazed alone in a 1 versus 4.
This was a great round for MVP overall. Able to find picks, people pushing out too far. A little bit difficult in mid, but the 2 side players over in the mains both able to punish anyone over aggressive. That will hurt their econ a little. Minimoth picking up an outlaw.
We are going to see, I mean, we're able to buy Minimoth if we wanted to. Raffy does have enough money for it to give the op.
Yeah, but I think they've identified that the Elite Hater's money is really weak, so it's basically an operator with this no armor from 4 of the players.
Absolutely
Only
right.
Zora with a Sheriff full armor.
Absolutely right. Not an angle that I saw there, to be truthful.
I mean, but the Elite Hater's working towards this mid space. I think they might try and find Zora a pick with this ISO ult, perhaps. But MBT doing a good job of not giving up early fights, giving up early picks towards this eco team.
It's you and me.
All will come out catching Raffy, while the rest of the Elite Haters flood up onto site. 1v1 is critical.
So Zora, oh, I think is that, what was that, 1 for 2 or 1 for 3?
Yeah, I think
for ISO
Raffy
ultimates?
won both fights in that ISO ult.
Oh my god,
Penflash pushed up! Finding 2!
Early
Taking
aggression
a
into the smoke.
3v3.
Blocking sight.
Both Silvas sitting on ult here. Good flash out, taking back
Low
all this
HP.
space.
Low HP and backside, Takima's not going to be able to make that kill. Up against Minimoth, Crazed is here trying to fight back against the Hunter's Fury. Not going to find any kills for it though. Rice Cake
Last
trying to hold
player
off as best as
standing.
possible. But Just Tired and Minimoth are there holding to make sure Raffy gets this diffuse off. MBT are not out yet, 6-11.
Absolutely. Pen Flash made that a little bit scary with that aggressive positioning, finding 2, but MBT did a good job of recovering from it and coming back out onto site. Everyone playing their trades,
Need a
finding
drop.
that backside player, and then working up to make Rafty able to stick the bomb. Right Kick is sitting on this KJ ult, so it'll be interesting to see where they put it. And if Delete Haters are able to make it onto site, Pen Flash also has that Viper ult.
Scanning ahead.
Absolutely. This post plant is going to be extremely strong for Delete Haters. What an amazing Sova Dart from Just Tired. It's going to grab a tag there on Zora, but thanks to the shield, Zora is going to live through it.
Great game and Viper pick coming out from Pen Flash, covering all of backside.
My ult's ready.
It'd be really awkward to come into. The Harbor ult from Zon could make this a little bit more doable.
I believe we've seen this Viper ult in professional play as well, that Pen Flash has posted up here.
MBT aware there's 2 players on this ledge area.
Owl Drone is going to clear out as much of the Viper's pit as
Work
possible.
out.
Pen Flash.
Woodrow finding one. Finding a second in the Viper ult.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god. Pen Flash for the 3K in the Viper's pit. Zora getting 2. That's going to be match point Delete Haters on the fence to push MBT into the lower bracket.
I feel like you might disagree with me. I feel like this is an upset for MBT.
I would say so. MBT being the current #1 seed for the Underpeel, absolutely.
I believe they've won both. They've won both of the Masters events, so coming into Champions is definitely a big favorite to just win it all. But Minimoth does have an op online now. They're able to find a pick into this round. Might be perfect for what they need. I think the early util, will they get on the line before anyone's able to find them?
Minimoth flagging crazed through this harbor wall. Oh, just press mouse 1, why don't you?
You are divided.
Using the ultimate as we make our hit on the site. Minimoth does grab 1 on the way in. We are going to have the plant go down here. So Zora playing around this Astra ultimate. Oh my god, Woodrow walks into the Viper's orb and
they
gets a
get their
kill
ult
for it
on
on Pen
that.
Flash.
Breach ultimate pushing Zora back in spawn, Just Tired crunching on them.
Bomb grenade out.
But the 2 players left for Delete Haters up in heaven. It's a great angle to hold the bomb. There's so much util contesting it. After taking the bomb, Woodrow holding the line. All down to Kina.
Fighting for their lives, Takina trying not to drop any more rounds, but we are going to see MBT pick it up.
I mean, Kina did make it expensive for MBT though. Bit of an awkward buy. Half armor rifles from a couple of them. Zon down to 2k, only a share from there.
That ultimate from Woodrow, the Rolling Thunder into the kill from Just Tired on the flank. Absolutely amazing play to turn the tides for MBT in that round.
I will be their nightmare.
It's just Woodrow over on this A site to contest it. Meanwhile, over on B, there's 2 players.
Yeah, early Owl Drone invested onto the A site. Woodrow is going to kill it. But enough information has been given, so Zora is going to take that angle and immediately trigger rotates.
Just like that, is Zora and Krabs just walked all the way up in A main onto site, getting it for their team solo. Big damage onto Woodrow as well.
Here we go. Plant's going to go down for Delete Haters, but Pen Flash on this late midler could find some values should WDH play for enough of their own time.
The flood up has been spotted. Meanwhile, swings off it. Kina in this backside all alone. Managed to find one. Mini cuts him down. There's a flank from Pen Flash coming in. If Delete Haters can buy time for this Pen Flash flank, it could be critical.
We bought just about enough time for Pen Flash to get as much value as possible out of this, but that curve is going to go down. Pen Flash is grabbing 1 inside, outside of the smoke, but Zon is still sticking this defuse. but is going to fall to it through the smoke.
Attackers
Pen Flash is
win.
going to get the kill. 13-7. Delete Haters are going to push MBT to the lower bracket.
I mean, that was just amazingly played from Delete Hairs on both maps. That defensive protocol from them was perfect.
Absolutely. They didn't fight for a ton of space, but the rotations were absolutely on point. They respected they were prepared to fall for the first fake, but it just never came, and their rotations were able to get as much value as they possibly could have.
Absolutely.
All right. After that first one, I mean, we're gonna head into a quick break here as we get ourselves ready for the next matchup. But I gotta say, what an absolutely incredible start to today's matches. Delete Haters up 2-0 against MVT. I believe the next match that we're gonna see. Let me take a look here. Is it Zonk versus Mouse House?
I believe. Oh,
SLO,
SLO.
excuse me. I apologize. Zonk versus SLO for our next series that we're going to see in just a few minutes here.
Interesting.
And we are back after a quick break while the other teams in our next matchup are getting ready with their pick bands for this next series to play. But real quick, just to touch back on that first series, WDH against MVT winning 2-0. What an upset that we just saw, Penguin.
Absolutely. MVT being the first place seed. I think, was it the 15th seed from WDH?
Close to that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely an upset. That Haven was super impressive, 13-1. Just the perfect defense out of Delete haters.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to see the pick bans coming in here. Slow banning Icebox, Zonk banning Ascent here. Hopefully the map picks come in. What are you expecting? I mean, we're expecting to see our classic Slotus.
Yeah, absolutely. SLO, Lotus, there you go. But I'm not sure from Zonk. They played a lot of different maps so far. I think probably something like a Haven, maybe? Oh, it's looked like Abyss.
We have another Abyss pick. I mean, Zonk's Abyss comp is quite, I'm going to say it's alternative, extremely strong, extremely difficult to understand if you're coming up against it for the first time.
Yeah, any team that's able to get a little bit of previewage on that, either through a VOD or something, will have a great advantage against them. But even with that, playing against it is a whole different thing from just watching it.
Absolutely, it's easy to observe from above, but actually when you're in the pits, when you're in match, it can be difficult. But we're going to be, I mean, heading into this, we've seen the way that both of these teams play. Slow. I mean, what we're expecting to see on their Lotus is nothing short of a masterclass. They have had extremely strong gameplay on that map ever since their initial coaching session. And hopefully we're looking to see that continues on. When it comes to Abyss, I don't know that I've seen their gameplay.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with either team's Abyss. I know that Zonk is a bit strange with their team comp, but that's really it. It's just, I think SLO runs a more traditional comp on Abyss. I think it's like a Harbor or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do on that map. My team has done a couple scrims against Zonk, and they are very strong on Lotus, so it'll be interesting to see how that map goes.
We are going to see decider map here for this series is going to be Haven. That I would be very excited to see because both of these teams have a pretty strong understanding of map macro. I would really be fascinated to see how the Haven matchup comes up.
Absolutely. Do you think we're going to get to a third map?
I hope so.
What's your prediction going into this?
Well, so for anybody who's not informed, my predictions were based off of a coin that I was flipping over and over. So, all things considered, my predictions do not have Zonk and SLO for this matchup. If I had to predict it, I would say Zonk are going to win it. But SLO are no pushovers. I think if that's the way it goes to a 2-1. We do see a map 3 in that. But it's worth noting that my coin has Zonk winning the whole thing.
Damn, okay. The 50-50 in favor of Zonk. I've been looking at Lotus. What do you think the win conditions are for either team? From what I remember, SLO, their strength is just their strong hits, and on defense that was a bit weaker. But when they've just brought it back and played for a retake, it worked out for them a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, we'll probably see something pretty similar. Taking that aggressive space, like we're not too concerned about showing our presence early on in the round. It's once the initial contact has finished up and slowed down. Once we've dropped down our tempo, then all the information that we give out, all the utility we use is going to become that much more important.
Absolutely. And then going on to Abyss, I think it's going to come down to whether or not the attacking team is able to get that bomb down. However fast SLO is able to adapt to Zonk's weird team comp is going to determine how well they're going to be able to do on Abyss. I could see the maps going either way, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with Pen Flash here. The Zonk 2-1 is going to be my guesstimation for what happens. I would say whoever wins Abyss, I would put Zonk to Abyss. I think Slow. I'm gonna call my prediction here. That Slow win the Lotus match. Zonk are gonna take Abyss, and then they'll take Heaven for the 2-1.
Interesting. I'm honestly gonna put a Zonk 2-0.
Zonk 2-0. You think they're gonna win Lotus?
I could see an upset from Zonk on that Lotus map, and then just denying a Haven map entirely.
I'll tell you what. I would love to see something like that. A dominant performance from Zonk. Absolutely.
Yeah, from recent gameplay, I've seen Dax absolutely fragging out across the board. Actually, all of Zonk's players being able to secure kills.
Yeah, I mean
the map.
Dax, a really strong initiator player. I played against their Fade in a ranked game. Absolute beast from top to bottom.
Indeed.
And just as well, anytime that while Crib was in the tournament, anytime that we met Zonk, we were always met with a massive fight on our hands.
Yeah, Zonk do a great job of punishing teams for either over-aggressing or just not giving the space. If you try and fight for it, they will just straight take that duel against you.
Absolutely. I know, like, when it comes to their Abyss, Zonk are opting for their, I think, multi-senti, multi-controller composition. Their play is, if they get that bomb down, they have won the round. The retake is extremely difficult against Zonk's attack side.
Absolutely.
But that said, playing to hold that site is going to be pretty beneficial, since they're going to be low on initiator players, they'll be low on duelist players. When it comes to Silly Little Operas, I'm actually not sure. I don't know. I don't remember ever facing them. I've only ever watched them play.
Yeah. I mean, from the one time Cope was able to face up against them, it was a pretty uneven map, but I think SLO has done a good job of filling in the gaps that might have been there initially.
I think SLO ends up, I mean, usually they ends up adapting decently quickly to anything that arises. Like anytime the gaps get shown in their composition, they'll look to fill those in as much as they can.
Absolutely. I think overall the teams that have succeeded the most are the teams that are able to adapt to whatever situation they're under.
Right. I mean, we've seen, like we saw in that, particularly in the Haven match on the series we just watched with the Elite Haters, they lost a round, or I should say they couldn't defend against a C attack. They had to play retake, and immediately the round after they opted to push down C long, immediately adjusting to the situation they were put into and were able to take that round. So if we can see adaptations along those lines here from either team, we're going to see some pretty explosive rounds. We're going to see some really strong heads-up matches.
I think right now we're just waiting for a couple of the players to file into the lobby right now.
Yeah, we're just waiting on a few stragglers. I think something SLO has gotten down to a T that Zonk might find difficult to deal with, especially, again, I keep talking Abyss because that's where I remember most clearly playing against Zonk squad, is their timing. The utility that they throw is on such a timing from Silly Little Operas that their coordination in those early round moments becomes extremely strong, near unparalleled, able to take space purely because they know They know when the enemy team might have util in their hands or when they have none to defend with. And that's going to be something that I expect to see on the Lotus match from Slow.
Absolutely. I mean, from an individual perspective, I think it's Hoy that's on Zonk, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hoy is Zonk's, I think, primary duelist player.
Is Hoy only like flat or something?
Hoy is, I'd say, in the low elo section.
They absolutely do not play like a low elo player.
No, in no way whatsoever. I know Hoy was on one of the winning teams for the mini peel tournaments that we've seen.
Yeah, Hoy is a bit of a in-house demon. The trained up, definitely underrated.
Currently sitting at a rank of gold 3.
What?
And with the support of teammates, Hoy is able to absolutely dominate and not worry about a thing except aim and shoot.
Yeah, just Zonk does a great job of putting Hoy in positions to punish. Run in, find all those opening kills that they need.
I know we've seen, we mentioned before, Zonk's squad has the ability to, specifically on Abyss, I know their sense of how to play their post plans is going to be extremely strong. It's just going to be a matter of how that shapes up against Slow's utility and their coordination, how those retakes are going to hold. I'm really fascinated to see Lotus because apart from Haven, Lotus is probably one of the more macro heavy maps and should be an easy indicator of who's the more coordinated team between these two here.
Absolutely. Like, whichever team is able to control more space on the map is the team that will win. You know, a lot of the time you'll see like defenders work out onto A, make sure they have that A site secured, A lobby space as well. But I believe both teams are a Viper KJ, if I'm remembering correctly.
Always fun that lurk wall on Lotus, or potentially that aggressive defense wall we saw on the previous Abyss game we just watched. Viper utility like that is always fun to watch because the potential timings, the potential lurks and flanks coming from that are always going to be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, at any point the Viper could just walk out behind it. So there's always pressure across the map. It looks like SLO is ready to play all 5 players in the lobby. Just waiting on 2 of the players out of Zonk.
Mm-hmm. The Hoy versus Frame Data matchup going to be interesting. I'd agree with that. We're seeing some really prominent members of the community here in this matchup today, and it's always fun to see what happens when they go head to head. It's a bit of a it's a good bit of fun thinking about it.
Absolutely. Like if either team is able to set up their duelists to just frag out, then they're in a position to win this map.
Yeah, I mean we've already talked about Hoy's capability as duelist for Zonk squad to just play behind or play with initiator and controller utility. Obviously, I am an initiator fanboy, so I'm expecting to see a lot of assists come in from Dax on these first 2 matches. But I'm still not familiar enough with Slow's team composition to know who I'm expecting, who I'm counting on to be a playmaker today. Do you have any insights towards that?
Well, I believe Ultra is one of their stronger players, along with Echo Heli. They're always good for like multi-kills within the round.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe Ivy Richu, was it in the upper quarters that they were, or yeah, I think upper quarters where they were able to win quite a few rounds off clutching. So Ivory 2 is one of those critical players where if they're fragging out, playing really well, it's just that X factor that could win SLO the game.
Yeah, I think I've seen from Ultra a few good plays. Ultra being Ultra, I believe, plays Gecko on Lotus. I'm unsure about Abyss, but I will always back the initiator players on either team, regardless. And like you've said, we've seen Ultra pull off some multi kills before, so potentially we're going to see some plays from Ultra. Obviously, Hoy. Dax is a strong candidate from my prediction.
Absolutely. Is Echo Heli still playing the Cypher for SLO on Lotus?
I hope so. Echo Heli's gotten some really good good timings in previous matches. Pen Flash, absolutely correct. I was mentioning I got a chance to talk to Crazed the other day while I was doing my silly coin flip prediction. While she was brushing up on some tech. Crazed is an extremely respectable Sova player, initiator in general, like just mechanically and from a utility standpoint, gotten very strong. But yeah, as we head into Slow versus Zonk squad, I've got my eyes on Dax and Ultra to see what sort of ideas that they have that they can pull off here.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to see some great gameplay out of both teams. Just as long as they're working together as a team, not taking solo fights, they will be able to make this an interesting game.
Yeah. Now I know, Penguin, you're mainly a controller player, right?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on controllers for this map? What sort of silly business are the Omens going to get into on today's matchup?
I mean, for controllers, a lot of the time your job is just to drop util for the team, but if they are able to come out and lurk, find kills, or break util over towards B or towards C, they can have a critical role. I know Koboss is one of the key players for Zonk squad. I believe the highest rated player on their team as well, like the MO player. I'm not entirely sure who the controller player is for. Entirely sure who the controller player. Fire Spirit? Interesting. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's gonna come down to Koboss to see what pressure they're gonna be able to make around the map. And then for Fire Spirit, just keeping up with Koboss, going even in util, and just sort of applying pressure around the map, keeping space, is going to be critical for them.
Right. I mean, I'm not seeing Fire Spirit in this lobby. I am seeing Jess, though, possibly subbing in, potentially. So, perchance we may have a bit of a switch up here in terms of who's going to be either who's going to be playing controller or who's going to be fragging out on this team. Because I have seen Jess make some good plays here. Yeah. Fire Spirit having been out for a little bit while, Jess is subbing in from Team MDE.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure SLO is hovering a bit of a troll comp. They're not gonna lock in the double Senti, double two list solo controller. But it would be very interesting to see that. If anything, I'd expect Echo Heli on ISO, right?
Something new that we're seeing out of SLO. Maybe trying to catch Zonk off guard. Zonk surely was expecting Slow to pick Lotus here, actively choosing not to ban Slotus against Slow.
It looks like they are going to go back to their normal comp.
Yeah, a little bit of having fun in the pregame.
Yeah, a bit of pre-game fun. It's always good to get the vibes up for going into your map. Ivory 2 locking in that fade, Echo Hully and frame data on that Cypher, and Raze Ultra on the Gecko.
On
Just our last holdout.
On Zonk Squad's side, we're seeing Dax on Viper. Not something I normally expected. Maybe I'm just getting my roles mixed up here, but I have seen what potential an initiator playing controller, playing Viper specifically, has for a team. We saw it with Penflash on WDHV MVT, and now we're seeing it here.
I mean, I have played against Dax's Viper in the in-houses, and it is quite good. But traditionally, Dax is on that initiator, so
Let's see just what they have cooked up for it.
yeah.
All right. We are going to be heading into our game here. Right off the bat, right, slow opting for, Zonk choosing attack side first, hoping to get as many rounds as they can.
And Lotus known for being very attack-sided, so this would be the side to get as many maps, or as many points going into the second half. SLO posturing for a bit of a B-rush. Flash at the ready to stop potential push, but Zonk are just going to go straight or onto Mound.
Here we go, this early pressure onto C. Not really needing to use any utility for this, though. SLO are just able to hold steady, not use any util of their own, but immediately triggering a small rotation here.
Yeah, it looks like after that first initial aggression over to B, waiting for a potential push from SLO, they backed up into a bit more of a default. SLO re-clearing over towards A lobby.
Good use of their sense of timing there as they re-clear that A main space here. But now Zonk stacking up towards B site. And immediately the rotation comes in as we're going to hit the door onto C. Hoy using Blast Pack to get out on site. Sees Jess out the smoke, grabs it for free. Ivory Reacher trying to hold back, grabs one, spamming as they try to get off the angle. Not getting traded for it. Kobos there, holding fast on the attack side. Kobos and Dax. Hoy swinging in, now controlling site here as Ultra left all alone in a 1v4.
Spike planted.
To rat around these smokes, Ultra's going to grab challengers. Not going to get any more for it, though. Kobos is there to finish the job. And Zonk are going to take this pistol round, I would say, quite decisively.
Absolutely. Zonk did a great job forcing rotates out, pushing towards B, threatening a B push, drawing all the C players over. Just a trip holding off the push onto C. The two players over on A not able to get there in time to help with the C retake. SLO looking like they're going to try and punish any sort of aggression out of Zonk towards C, but there is no aggression.
That early one-way is going to come in, discourage them from actually making any space at all. They've chosen the wrong site stack here.
Meanwhile, over on A, there was a one-way towards the choke in A lobby, but Dax and Kobos far ahead of it, working up to this free A site.
We're about to flip the map here, as we can see SLO all the way through C after that one-way dissipates. On that timing, Zonk are going to make their execute here. Not going to find anything at all. They're almost too suspicious of it with how easy this take is. Using a little more utility than you might like to, making this side take, that raise nade. Nevertheless, we get this plant down, and we have now flipped the map.
Yeah, Zonk now on full defense in this post plant. It's going to be 5 players through tree.
There it
Dax
is.
finds two
Dax.
initially.
When the door opens up, Dax gets 3. Ivy Richu even getting traded out for one of their own, grabbing Sabati.
One enemy remaining.
Dax
Dax
for a
on
4th.
the eighth. And they find Echo Heli all the way up in stairs.
Have the information. Dax swinging ahead. Echo Heli on the low HP here as well. There it is. The ace for Dax in round 2. Zonk starting off aggressively hitting 2-0.
I mean, that's a great start for Zonk. It was definitely a read from... it was attempted stack from SLO over on that C site, but Zonk just were able to pick the right site, not walk into the hit.
Heading into round 3, bonus round for Zonk. SLO are looking to immediately, once again, take the same main space. One way's going to be a little bit too high for value here. And we've all but frozen in place.
Over on A, we have 2 players holding for this A lobby aggression. Bit of a high-low from Jess and frame data. Wall coming up. Dog out.
Cover going out.
Here it comes. We try to retake this rubble space. Unaware of Jess up on top of rubble.
Flash is traded back and forth. SLO and Ultra. Or Ultra and Echo Heli find the recombined. Kobach finding Jess on the backside of rubble. Smokes himself out. It'll be a 3v2. Good start to the bonus for Zonk. If SLO can do a good job of not giving up any more picks, it'll be a reasonable
Player standing.
round for them.
They are going to drop one more, though. Kobach getting traded out. Zonk have found all the value they could ask for and more out of this round. If Dax can find any more, even some damage onto Ivy Richu to make that armor cost.
I think Kobach spotted the last 2. They're both looking at the store. Dax finds him looking the opposite way.
Oh my god, the Clutch King Dax making this 3-0, winning the bonus round for Zonk Squad.
I mean, what a start for Dax. 8-0. No one able to contest him at all.
Even we saw for a moment there, Echo Heli checking the spy cam, couldn't see Dax as it was looking, I think, a little too deep into B main for the angle.
Once again, SLO contesting this A space. Dax threatening a lurk over. But it will be fast towards B from Zonk.
Not looking to take any chances, not trying to hit into a stack. Zonker just immediately redirecting towards the C site. They're aware the Cypher setup is on here. Hoy's gonna satchel out into sight, not a care in the world. Echo Heli getting shot down to 1 HP. Back sight, Hoy's there to pick it up. And Zonk are gonna take control of C here. Opting not to smoke off this KJ turret. Slow, working up the flank. Finally get their contact. Dax trying to make a kill. Can't get it happen. Frame data left on low HP. And there it is, the full swing. Dax finds one, Sabati finds another. Make it 2. And Ivy Richu left alone. Hoy in it to win it, clearing out for another round for Zonk Squad. And SLO are going to be using their first timeout of the series here in round 5, down 4-0. What do you think their major thing that they'll have to be talking about to make the next rounds is going to be?
I mean, so far, they've actually done a great job of contesting space. I think C Mount is the problem area, though. Not really able to connect any early info. They're just giving up both B main and C Mount while fighting for the A space. I would like to see maybe a cam out towards the boxes or far into Mount to make sure no one's walked up on it early. Maybe an Omen walked out into B main to contest that space. Force out some util from Zonk early. so that they don't have as much to go onto site with. Dax is holding on to this Viper ult, so if they're able to make it onto site, it will be very difficult for SLO to do a retake onto.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to agree with you there. If we can get some utility out from Zonk before they actually execute onto site, that's going to be ideal. And that doesn't happen unless we take this early space and mound, early space and rubble. But we're going to have to do it pretty flawlessly without losing a man on SLO.
There's a bunch of pings over towards C Mound. I think they might be trying to go for a trap play over on SLO. But Zonk has read it. 4 players all posturing towards this A space. Somebody just there to flash into B main.
Toxins going up.
Early information that that Fade Dog is going to find Sabati, but giving off very little information. But SLO is getting a little antsy. They're not willing to accept loss of space here. They've taken mound control. They've posted up the trip. Zonk squad going to be taking A site control again with no resistance whatsoever. Forcing slow on a 5v5 retake.
Dax sitting on the Viper ult. If they commit it here, it'd just be an immediately 1 round.
Cover going out.
It will be a 5v5 retake. 2 ults over on SLO's side could be really strong for this retake. The Raze ult could pressure them back as they come out heaven here, though.
Here we go, investing the Fade Ultimate into this retake here. Hoy popping Showstopper in, grabs one for it, but gets traded out immediately as Thrash comes in to clear out tree, but Frame Data doesn't see anything. Never mind, gets one.
One enemy remaining.
Traded out by Sabati, and now a 1 versus 3 on site. Silly Little Lopper's gotten at half, breaks the wingman. And that's going to be a 5-0 for Zonk Squad.
I mean, that was a great reaction from Hoy, immediately committing the raised rocket, stopping anyone from coming out on top of that Gecko ult. Managed to dodge the ult as well. That was surprising.
Yeah, 3 players in tree. Thrash goes right in, detonates, can't find anything.
Kobos had a great position to cut off anyone coming out of stairs, and then immediately spam for the bomb plant. Echo Heli was trying to stick, and they got it to half. Without that spray from Kobos, it would have probably let them get a defuse in.
Right, it would have been pretty difficult to finish out that round.
Ultra a bit stuck in this position. Doesn't really have any help to get out, and they will get caught trying to escape.
Slow trying to fight back with some A-main aggression of their own, but they can't do anything against Zonk's play. Frame Data does grab one, though, lighten the load a little bit for this defense side. Not without taking some substantial damage. Challengers finds the timing onto Jess, almost whiffs the shot, but still ends up getting the kill.
A quick rotate over to B from Zonk. Not planning, maybe worried about a little bit of aggression from SLO, but I think they might go for a save here. Money is really weak for SLO.
One enemy remaining.
Frame Data catches Kobos once that smoke fades, but Hoy for the 3K. Make it 4. Hoy giving Zonk up 6-0 on map 1.
I mean, so far this is just the Hoy and Dax show.
Just a little bit. A little
And we
bit of Kobos
questioned
thrown in there
Dax's
too.
Viper at the initial start of this round, but
I mean, I'll always be a fan of. I've gotten the chance to play Viper on Lotus. It is pretty darn addicting, being able to make these timings happen.
absolutely.
With this lurk wall. Dax's utility usage is extremely strong from a game sense perspective, from a timing perspective.
But even with all this space controlled over on A, it's not really gaining them anything. Zonk has been able to avoid the A pressure whenever they have moved to the other sites. Hoy in this aggressive angle over towards CT. Early nade from Frame Data and Echo Heli will push him back.
Showstopper coming in from Frame Data out of CT. Does grab one for it. Echo Heli for a second pick. SLO up 3-2 on this retake. Dax evens out the numbers, but Frame Data says, no, here's my 3K. Wingman getting pushed off the spot. Off the spike, Sabati getting forced onto site and gets picked up by Ultra on top of that box.
I guess we're doing this.
SLO going to take their first round in round 7 here.
Thrifty.
And a thrifty of all things.
Yeah, I think Zonk tried to get a little bit too aggressive. Hoi pushing into CT immediately forced back and then tried to pressure up into water.
Yeah, I mean when you're up this many rounds this early into the series, the biggest pitfall that you can fall into is getting complacent. Is feeling like you can't lose. And if Zonk can maintain their mental, if they can maintain their understanding that every round is different, anything can happen, and they play with that in mind, they'll be continuing out on this streak. But SLO were able to catch a breath there, winning that last round.
And an immediate timeout from Zonk off the first round for SLO. Do you think they're just doing this so that they're able to calm down a little bit?
Definitely looking to stop some of SLO's momentum, right? They gave up that one round, but Vi being in the interest of winning as quickly as possible is looking to stop that as before it can get out of hand for Zonk to deal with.
Absolutely, and Zonk are sitting on 2 possible ults here, 7 out of 8 on Hoi and 8 out of 9 on Challenger. Both really strong ults for pushing onto a site. Be interesting to see which way they go. Might actually be a fake. Kobos and Challenger over towards C site, testing for the orb early. Meanwhile, the rest of Zonk are walking out on A.
And again, the early volley of utilities, mainly to take this A main space here from Zonk. But SLO have found themselves trying to work back against it here. Again, offsetting the timing of their utility. They're going to get out of rubble. Frame Data and Ultra grabbing one apiece. Sabati there for the trade. 4 versus 3 SLO. Like we talked about before the match, the timing of their utility is set up specifically to counter early aggression like that. They were able to pull that play together. Again, effectively pushing Zonk, forcing them into a C hit here.
Challenger is sitting on this ult, but they haven't committed it to the site take. They're going to look to get the bomb down before
possibly a post plant Killjoy lockdown here. Plant's going to come in.
Trying to find Echo Heli.
Oh, Ivy Richu finding a tight angle against Kobos there. Doesn't get punished for it. Echo Heli does get killed by Challengers on the retake, but Ultra there to trade it out. Now Sabati left alone versus 3. Does pick up one, lightens the load, but Ivy Richu there with the Fade Dog combination to win it for SLO. Now
SLO were just able to flood out off using those player advantage to their player numbers to their advantage. advantage. I mean, but that was a great push out of A. They had a trap play, Omen flash prepped, the blast packs to get immediately to back rubble, and the flash out from Ultra.
Yeah, they were pretty much silent up until they just explode out of that smoke there. And even though those trades came in, they ended up the exchange after that volley. Here we go, heading into the next round. We do have Thrash on Ultra here for our defense side. Let's see if we can use it for potentially a retake. As Zonk Squad try to take this aggressive mound space, and they're going to, with no pushback, they're going to take it no problem whatsoever.
I think SLO has decided to not fight for C. They're playing a very passive site hold, Echo Heli all the way back in spawn, just having a couple trips in cam over on site.
It's a difficult situation because Frame Data going to get that early pick there. I say early pick. Frame Data going to get that pick into rubble. Once again, pushing Zonk, encouraging them for a C hit. But the ultimates that Zonk has on their hands right now extremely, extremely strong for a post-plant situation.
And Zonk are out of the site. They will get the bomb down.
Spike planted.
Kobas finding a pick onto Jess, rotating through B
Even up
So there
those
will be a
numbers a little
threat.
bit.
from the lurk. And it's KJL committed immediately. Will deny SLO from coming into site early. Time pressure now put on them.
And here we go. That Thrash coming in to execute this retake here. We still have Showstopper on the line from Zonk. And there we go. It's going to come out. Hoy with the nade kill. Challengers with a turret kill.
Enemy remaining.
But the util just doing all the work for Zonk right now.
Absolutely. 5 kills in the round. Zonk got 2 of them with utility. 2 of those others kills were for Kobos. What an amazing, amazing post-plant situation from Zonk here.
Yeah, like KJL just put so much time pressure onto SLO. They had to flood out, and there was no way they could have delayed any longer.
And you can see
Ran-
SLO was trying to counter that with a potential raise nade to kill the lockdown, but they couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, and it looks like there will be a little bit of a trap play over towards the 2 players in B main, 2 players on site. Early flash into B main from Zonk will identify a little bit of a threat.
It's something that you love to see, these trap plays here. Always fun when they get triggered off, but it looks like B main is going to be Zonk's primary focus here, as the Skydog's going to spot Ivy Richu, causing a spam to happen, gets caught out. But frame data there to make a pick of their own.
Yeah, a bit of a back and forth here. Both teams trying to just
I've got your trail.
contest for the main space.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
like we
Zonk-
mentioned before, like the mid-round utility is really what's going to win these rounds for either team. Whether it's the Sky Ultimate or the Cypher Ultimate there to get the information that they need.
Ultra doing a great job of staying alive, waiting for their team to come in. But Hoy finds a pick onto Jess in stairs.
And we get the Viper Pit down on site, making this an extremely strong post-plant. But SLO come back with a pick of their own, making this a 3 versus 3, and they have a Showstopper on, potentially for this retake here.
Well, almost catches Dax. Echo Helene spamming in.
There it is.
Frame
Ultra
data
grabs
kill
2.
Ultra! What?
Frame data for the team kill. Kobos ulting into Breakable.
One enemy remaining.
Grabs 1!
It's a great reposition. Can he close it out?
Against
1v1
Echo.
between Echo Helene and Kobos.
Echo Heli has to stick the spike to make it happen, but Kobos there gets a kill through the cage. SLO killing one of their own with the Showstopper there. Might have cost them the round.
I mean, that's gotta be a heartbreaker. They
tell you
had so
what.
much pressure in. They flushed everyone out of that Viper ult, but they ended up losing a player, and that's kind of what cost them the round. Gave up pressure onto Kobos, who was able to ult into Breakable and lurk back around.
Right. SLO still have a couple ultimates on in their bank for this next round, but let's just hope they can recover the mental from that round here. And again, Zonk are getting this A main space effectively for free, but this time we don't have a late reclear from SLO. We're just stacked up on B site here, leaving Ultra alone in A.
They're kind of trapped in this backside. No good way to escape. So as the util comes out, they will get spotted. Blast packs coming in, flashes coming in.
And again, the timing as Kobos' blind lets Hoy just rush in.
Spike planted.
Guy's out.
Able to stop the plant, but Frame Data does get that pick. Ivy Richu with a pick of their own, giving SLO the advantage in this on this retake here. Frame Data satcheling out, grabs Kobos.
Last player
Dax
standing.
there to fight back, but Frame Data for a third.
All into Challenger now.
Left alone here in this post plant, grabs 2! Oh, but can't finish it out, Echo Heli, for the thrifty win for SLO.
Thrifty.
I think, was that 2 out of the 3 rounds they won now are thrifties?
Right, absolutely. I mean, and that just proves that SLO has the capability to win these rounds, right? Just that they need to they need to find the right play before the round starts up, before the execute comes in from Zonk.
Yeah, and let's not forget that this Lotus is traditionally a attacker-sided map, so if
Right.
SLO are able to contain this and just make it an 8-4 half, they might have a good chance going into attack side to bring it back.
Absolutely. And we're not talking attack sided by like a round or two here. No, we're pretty heavily sided here. 9-3 half is not anywhere near unheard of for typical Lotus gameplay.
Meanwhile, SLO has contested this B space. They open the door, finding 2 in B main and killing both. The challenger tried to find an angle, but the cage from Echo Heli is able to stop the trades coming across. Meanwhile, on A,
Erased.
they've just worked all the way up.
Going up.
Dax finds 1. Kobos in this aggressive position towards heaven.
Frame data there for the trade though, as Dax picks up the lurk kill. Oh, Kobos spots Jess just around the corner, grabs 1. Doesn't expect the immediate reswing though.
One enemy remaining.
SLO trying to hold it down as best they can. Frame data for a 3rd kill here as Kobos goes down. Losing smokes for Zonk Squad. Now with
30
Spike,
seconds
challengers
left.
trying to make a play here. SLO unaware of their position.
One enemy remaining.
But they are prepared for it. Challengers makes that pick onto Echo Heli, making this a very, very winnable round for Zonk Squad. And the plant's going to go down.
Placing swamp grenade.
Positioning is everything here. Frame data, wasting no time with the showstopper, is going to make that kill for a 4K. Making an 8-4 half, favoring Zonk Squad. Heading into Slow's attack side.
I love explosions.
And who knows, maybe 4 rounds is all they need to win this attack side.
I tell you what, I do not doubt that for a second. With the way Lotus is set up, with the way SLO plays their attack half on Lotus, it's an extremely good half. Excuse me, SLO is positioned for an extremely good half on their attack side.
Yeah, but right now it's a bit of a extremely one-sided Omen game for Jess Kobos. We pointed that out at between the break, and Jess at 0-11, while Kobos is 14-7 with 9 assists. Who knows? Maybe this is just half.
I mean, with the assists on the board, I wouldn't say Jess isn't. Jess is certainly contributing as much as possible for SLO.
Absolutely, they've had some critical flashes. Very quiet start at the moment.
Absolutely. Zonk double stacked on this new box here. Using the smoke as an opportunity to fix their positioning. But SLO largely quiet
There.
off the bat. Does possibly catch some contact with challengers here. Forced up on top of this box. We've got motion happening all across the map here as Zonk push in and take rebel control. There it is. Dax does find 1. Immediately aggressing to take this A main space. SLO are going to get the plant down on the B site here and aggress through, taking C-Link control. This position is going to be hard to slice up.
I think, yeah, Dax heard them trying to go around for this rotate, but they're not expecting Ultra.
Last player standing.
And it
Prepared
might be a
for
little
it.
too late.
There it is. Last person is known, and we can stick the bomb. Even if Ultra does get 2, Zonk Squad are going to take this pistol round. Hoy jumping up, knife out, not a care in the world.
Yeah, they knew that round was secure, 1 on bomb, getting that defuse done. There's going to be a P10 out of Kobos.
Tech pause for the for a quick bathroom break. Yeah, so SLO struggling on that pistol round for their attack side here. Unfortunately unable to fully contest that rubble space. I'm thinking we have our early information from Dizzy on Ultra with this Gecko Flash. I think if we can use that a little bit more advantageously, we'll find better results heading into these next couple of rounds here.
Absolutely. I do think SLO, they had a good plan going into that round. They tried to find picks, anyone getting too aggressive out of Zonk, and they almost caught Challenger on that left side box in C main. But the nade just went a little bit too wide, and that gave time for the smoke to come in and help. I think if they get that pick towards C, it completely opens up the site, and all the rotates can come over.
I think I'd fully agree with you there.
But coming into this pistol round, SLO all grouped up over on A side. I think they're just going to try and straight fight for A space. No one really here to contest it, though. Looks like the whole team for Zonk is going for the bathroom runs.
All right, here we go. Back into it.
Time to work. Grenade!
All right, immediately SLO taking their A main space. And Frame Data immediately pushing into the breakable position. Satcheling through, gets caught out by Sabati. The flashes come out as we take our site. But Zonk fighting back immediately, wasting no time. Ultra there with the right click, grabs two! A jumping double for Ultra! And gets a third with the Bulldog!
Yes, on the board now. All down to Dax in a 1v1. Thrash is a big threat up in heaven. Off the tap, they will commit. Unless Ultra gets a little bit too aggressive.
Toxins
A
going up.
1v1 classic versus Guardian of Molly will hold the line.
Jess on for the 2K here, but Dax through the wall, showcasing the knowledge, able to push back, make that... Tell you what, SLO made that round extremely expensive, though.
You only thought that was close.
Absolutely. 4 guns down, just a Guardian remaining for Dax, and they bought up pretty heavily into that. Going to be Stinger, Sheriff, Challenger, able to buy up a rifle, though. So, very heavily, the buy is going to favor SLO here. I do think the faster hit did seem to work for them, so they might try it again over
Absolutely.
here on C.
We found something that works pretty well for us. This aggressive space take. Again, Dizzy's going to spot Hoy. Forces Hoy to satchel back across, not without taking some damage for it. And the counter utility comes in. That smoke on the ground here from Kobos. Looking to make this mound space a little bit harder to hold for SLO. Jump spotting with the Roomba. And here we go. We're sending in Thrash. Thrash does get killed, though.
It was
in
a
the process.
great molly from Challenger canceling out the Thrash.
The executes coming in. SLO don't care about the stack. But Zonk do. They've gotten 3 on site. But the trades come in, a 2 versus 2.
I mean, Jessica's massive. That one rifle from Challenger over on Zonk also finds 2. Guns in the favor of SLO. But Dax and Spotty are definitely able to... Or definitely have a chance coming into this round.
Yeah, we have seen the shots come out from these 2 players. SLO need to be careful not to give away this bonus round.
Shadows traveling.
Play within our combinations, we'll win it, but those shots are coming on.
It's a great flash. Gives frame data time to come around.
Absolutely. Sabati and Dax entirely unaware of frame data's wrap. A 3K heading into the next round here. All things considered, Zonk did get some good damage off, but the round numbers are what counts here. Slow fighting back with a round of their own on their attack side.
Absolutely. So I made that a little bit scary with the one rifle finding a lot of kills and a bunch of damage onto a couple extra players, but Solo were able to move past, get into sight, and secure that round.
Turret's destroyed.
And this early mound space here is winning these rounds for SLO. They're going to commit to it immediately, pushing Zonk off the site.
Yeah, it seems to be these faster rounds for SLO are working into their favor. Everyone falling back to site, or falling back to mound to play for the spam. Meanwhile, over on A, Echo Heli pre-lurk up all the way through.
See what that lurk might come in handy if SLO can play enough prevention, play for enough time here. Kobas opening this door just to add on some more pressure as the rest of their team, as the rest of Zonk's squad comes on to site. Kobas grabs that kill on Ivy Richu. Very, very big. But SLO fighting back here. Echo Heli's lurk doesn't get as much value though. Grabs one for it, but Sabati left to defuse the spike effectively alone here.
One enemy remaining.
Dizzy as Sabati goes to stick the spike, but Jess is there. 2 kills in to win the round for SLO.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great way to deal with the mound post-plant positioning from Zonk. They came out, surrounded them entirely, one player at the door, one player coming around from the C main flank, and then players flooding out from site, but SLO were just able to deal with it. Timeout coming out for Zonk. What do you think they're talking about to adapt to what SLO are doing?
I mean, they'll need to restructure their defense, right? Either they need to fight out against this this early C aggression, or they need to play more of a mains rule type defense, where if they get that aggression from C, they'll have to push through A, and either potentially lurk or just commit the rotation.
Absolutely.
If we can get a defender posted up either in rubble or up in mound, that is so much space control that we can play off of from Zonk.
I mean, but for this round specifically, there's not really any money in the bank for Zonk to do anything fancy, so it might just be a group up fight on one of the sides. We'll see if there's a stack out of either C or A. It looks like it will be a heavy towards C, but SLO have a read.
Confident that we don't even need utility to take this space. SLO are just running out rubble.
I mean, that camera over on C mount spotting 3 gave him so much information. No one here to contest it.
Here we go, holding on site. Frame Data gets the opening pick onto Challengers. Killing Killjoy. They're confident that there's nobody else on site. They're going to get this plant down.
Spike planted.
SLO in the 5 versus 4.
There are some powerful ults on the side of Zonk that they could use to get into this round, but
Shadows traveling.
I'll be interested to see if they actually commit them.
It's just going to be a matter of timing. Echo Hilly grabs Sabati, but gets killed by Hoy's Raisnade. Oh, Hoy. Getting spotted by Jess in tree here.
One enemy remaining.
There comes in the kill. SLO making this a 4 versus 1. Dax tries to grab one on the way out, but Ultra there for the trade.
And SLO did a great job of playing that post plant.
Absolutely. And finding their sight hit as well. Like you mentioned, that cam from Echo Heli made it very easy for them to push out, take that main space.
But now Zonk with guns in their hands, we'll see what they do with the reinvigorated weapons.
There.
Still looks like they're keeping their default the same. Pressure towards A, sort of weak towards C. And maybe that's the plan. Oh, there's the Viper ult. on all of Seaside.
Yeah, once again, Zonk make this early aggression. They get this insert from Hoy all the way down into rubble, but SLO are on top of it. They're pushing directly into the Viper's pit. Pushing Dax out of it entirely.
Well, Dax managed to make his way back in before he falls down. Not caught by the dog. Frame Data trades with the ult.
Frame Data making a play to kill themselves in favor of catching the Viper
Spike
pit.
planted.
3v4 post plant. 2 players posted at the door for Zonk.
SLO looking to counter this door play. They are fed up with it. Killing 2 into door. Hoy trying to catch with the showstopper. As Kobos goes to stick to defuse, Hoy is out in mound making space, and Kobos able to stick thanks to all that space Hoy just made for Zonk Squad, making this 11-7.
Yeah, Hoy just able to hold the line, play defense for Kobos while he's stuck. And overall, it's been a great half from SLO. They're finding openings, able to make it to site, and a timeout will come out for SLO.
Yep, using their second timeout of the series here. Slow looking to reclaim their namesake here. I mean, what do you think they're discussing here? Because obviously, immediately taking... oh, we're timing that. I'm going to put 45 seconds on that timer.
I didn't realize that wasn't us. But yeah, I think honestly, SLO shouldn't be too shaken up by that round. They played it really well. It just happened to be that the ults worked in the favor of Zonk. I honestly hope that they don't change it up too much. The fast sight hits were working for them.
Yeah, I mean, when the site take happened, obviously we eliminated the Viper's pit, but what we couldn't do was, I think if we stay on site there as SLO, we potentially have a lot more value to offer the round. Obviously, that showstopper coming in was a bit of a counter to that, though.
Absolutely. I mean, it could also be that this round is going to be very difficult for them. The challenger is holding on to that KJ ult, making any sort of post plant very difficult. If they try and go C, the water ult is going to push them all the way back, and if they go A, an ult from heaven could also push them back out of tree.
Here we go, Zonk with their default play here, pushing Hoy into this rubble space. Such a strong position after this early volley, but SLO, patient as ever, looking to re-clear, hopefully with some of their own util. And the re-clear comes in, but Hoy is grabbing 2. Gets caught out after throwing the nade. Ultra with a kill, gets traded out by Zonk Squad, though, as they grab 2. Once again, Jess left alone in a 1 versus 3 now. Zonk unaware that they had spike control, giving it up to Jess with this immediate flank.
Oh, but Dax is here in time, and they're going to immediately find shots onto Jess.
Dax waiting for the commit. Zonk Squad are going to make match point here off of that play.
SLO do have enough money to buy up into this last round, but it's still very difficult for them to come onto site. And even if they make it onto site, that KJ ult is going to push it back out. One off ult for Ivy Riku. That might be the critical ultimate that wins them the round. Gives them a chance to continue into this map.
Here we go. The early utility from Slow gonna push Zonk off of any potential control they would have wanted from A main. Hoy gets caught in the mid spray. Doesn't take any damage for it though.
Zonk playing very patient, waiting for SLO to give up picks. traded back from
Spike
Phobos.
planted.
And I think they're going to look for that KJ ult.
Yep, they can get this lockdown online. Zonk have a very strong potential for this retake. Effectively forcing SLO into tree.
Gun here.
But Zonk are ready for it. SLO trying to back out, make some potential timings here. Oh, and Kobos on site grabs one in tree.
What a great flash. Ultra somehow able to find that pick. I didn't expect Phobos close to the smoke. All down to Jess.
Zonk trying to just stick the defuse here. Jess takes that swing and gets them off the half, but Dax is going to pick it up, and that's going to be 13-7. Zonk are going to win. Zonk is going to win silly little Opper's pick of Lotus here in round 1.
I think overall that was actually a great map from both teams, but the start from Zonk with being 8 up was just too much of an advantage for SLO to overcome on that attacker side.
Yeah, I mean, Zonk were able to find 6 rounds off the bat. And that demoralizes the mental a little bit from SLO, but they still fought back as hard as they could for that 8-4 half. Coming into the attack side, Zonk winning pistol was a bit of a created a very strong struggle for SLO. And as hard as they fought back, Zonk just played so well and held so strong.
Yeah, SLO did a great job of fighting back, but I mean, Frame data fragging out 24 and 17. Our top fragger threw out that map, but not quite enough to bring it back in SLO's favor as we go to the next map of Abyss.
We saw some strong plays from Zonk's own Hoy and Dax, like we talked about earlier on. Hoy just fragging out behind teammates' utility. Dax getting some really strong timings. And then, like you had mentioned before, Kobos, an extremely strong controller player. 22 kills, 14 assists. That is not something you see every day.
I mean, at that number of assists, you'd expect it out of an initiator player, if anything.
Exactly. But we have, what was that? We have Sabati there. Nothing to sneeze at either.
Absolutely. I think Sabati was a late addition to the Zonk squad, and ever since they came in, it's been a very strong addition to the team.
Yeah, really evening out the capability for the aggression from Hoy behind those flashes, and of course the information gotten by the dog. Always a much appreciated addition.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe somebody coming in might have been what was needed for Dax to move off to that controller role.
Heading into the next map, Zonk's pick of Abyss. Like I've mentioned before, we've seen some interesting team comps come out of Zonk's squad, and I hope that's what we're going to see this time around. What sort of prep, if you're familiar with Zonk's comp, I believe, I'm not going to reveal it until we're in the match picks, but what do you think SLO is going to come up with to counter it?
I mean, I think is Zonk that has the strange squad, right?
They
have
do,
the weird
yeah.
team
They
comp.
have one of the most interesting Abyss comps I've ever seen.
I mean, if SLO have done a little bit of prep coming into this map, they might be able to flip it in their favor. Just being unaware of what the enemy team comp is able to do is a big factor in those sort of stranger team comps. But
the Zonk squad comp is as interesting as it may be. It does have a lot of merit. It is pretty effective. But of course, we have also seen several. We've seen several professional pro tier matches happen lately with some alternative ideals on how to play the map. So let's see if Zonk or even SLO adapt their play style to account for it.
Yeah. Does Echo Heli? I think Echo Heli does play ISO on Abyss or SLO, so getting
That sounds
a
about
chance to
right.
come back to the original role from the draft. Be interesting to see how more natural position for Echo Heli will favor them.
Right, and I'll always be a proponent of comfort picks for teams whenever they're unsure of what to do. If you can play onto your main role something you're comfortable with, and you can still come out with an agreeable team composition, that's always going to be recommendable.
Absolutely, I think ED throughout the season was like the strongest proponent of that. Just pick your comfort roles and we'll rock with it. Make it work.
I think we saw, what was it, EB? I think it was Trevor on EB. Really strong Viper player. Sort of speaks as a testament to that ideal.
Absolutely, like their Abyss comp or their Ascent comp with Viper coming out was not a common controller you see from most players, but they made it work. I think it's just whenever you have a bit of a stranger pick, not really meta, you just have to look for a lot more angles, a lot more utility usage to cover those weaknesses that you might not have.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always say that if you can come up with a plan, regardless of whether it is the quote-unquote optimal plan, so long as you can commit to it and maximize the potential of that plan, you will do well. It'll always be about playing well as a team rather than choosing what is meta.
Absolutely. I think the teams that are able to adapt a little bit into that meta comp are able to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, we've got, like, even if your picks are a little bit off kilter, playing against meta, obviously you know what to expect. You, like, if you take Ascent for example, you've got that Sova, KO, Omen, Jet, Cypher, and or KJ. Being able to adapt to what's consistent for that team comp, you can put up just about anything against it, and find some sort of success. Of course, the adaptations come into counter, and that's when you're actually playing Valorant.
Absolutely. I mean, but at the end of the day, Valorant is a first-person shooter, so whichever team clicks on the head better does end up winning.
Right. I like saying, personally, I like saying Valorant is a puzzle game. You just got to solve it before the timer or before the scoreline hits 13. But if you don't have the dexterity, the capability to actually hit the headshot once you've solved the puzzle, then you'll find a little bit of difficulty.
Absolutely. I think we've lost somebody. Their PC has crashed, so a little bit of a break in between the games here.
Yeah, we've got, normally we're set for about a 5-minute break just so everybody can get sorted, drink your water, all that stuff. Speaking of which, I got some here. But yeah, we do have a PC crash on the side of Zonk Squad.
I mean, luckily it's happening now and not during the game, so.
Right. Goodness. Real quick, talking about Valorant tournaments in general. I know we've got like on the subject of tournaments and composition, a new agent coming into the roster by the end of the month. That new initiator player that we're expecting to see, and that's something I'm really excited for personally.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how a new hero shakes up the meta.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if it's like is it recon or a flash initiator? It was looking more like a recon initiator.
It better be a recon.
But I think we're
We've
like
got-
4 out of 4 for like the last couple initiators.
Yeah, we've got 6 initiator. I think currently, and 4 of those 6 are Flash Initiator. So
Yeah.
it's not confirmed that they are an Initiator, but that's, as far as the rotation is concerned, that's what we're due for. Since we got Deadlock relatively recently, we've gotten ISO.
Initiators are set to get a new character coming in.
I certainly hope so. Pen Flash had asked a little bit ago what's been the most fun Underpeel map this season. I'm pretty biased towards Ascent. I know, like, from a macro perspective, it's fairly boring to watch at the top level, but some of the differences in team composition that we've seen from these Underpeel teams, and just from a standpoint of each individual team's style, gets to really show. Ascent is a really fun map to watch, and of course, when the Abyss tournament happened, we got to see a brand new map, the first Abyss tournament to be played in Valorant. We got to see everybody cooking up their own strategies, team comps. That was pretty fun. What about yourself, Penguin? The most enjoyable map to watch during the Underpeel?
To watch, honestly, I feel like Haven has been one of my favorites. There's just been so many times where players have been free to lurk up and find solo picks, while there's also been opportunities for great team fights on both sides of the map. I think Ascent is also a strong contender for that, because it's just initially it seems like a map that would be very stale because it's been the same for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, I think, within our own tourney, there's a lot of fun comps that have come out, so it gives rise to some interesting things. Double Senti from Zonk.
Yeah,
They're
we're
interesting
seeing
comp.
the Zonk squad comp. Now I can talk about it. The double Senti, double controller, solo initiator, no duelist comp from Zonk squad is, and we are also seeing an adaptation coming from T1 Pros. Have all seen, we've all seen them playing Sova, and we're seeing that adaptation come in from Zonk squad. I believe they've normally had Sky as their initiator, and now we're seeing Sova come in here. That by itself, not having flashes on your team for all of this, this is a comp to beware if you're unfamiliar.
Absolutely. I'd be a bit hesitant to pull up this over here. I think the flashes from Sky are actually really important for this comp. So you have no one to quickly get past any of the choke util with like a dash from Jet or blast packs out of Raze.
Right.
So those flashes give them a bunch of space to work with. I'm not sure the Sova pick is as helpful, but we'll see how they make it work.
I mean, I honestly, like, as much as I love Sova and will always vouch for him, we are seeing the Sova lock in here as well. I would think, yeah, the lack of flashes on this is going to be a bit of a difficulty for Zonk, but presumably they've taken that into account and are prepared to deal with it.
Interesting pick from Jess, a Brimstone. You don't see that every day on Abyss.
Yeah. So it looks like on our attack side here, we're either going to be seeing some very slow defaults or some very decisive sight hits here.
I think if SLO are able to make it to site, their post-plant util is intense. They got Gecko Mach, they have Aftershock, Brim Mollies, they got Raise Nades and Blast Packs. So much util to deny a diffuse from the Defender squad.
Right. And we've got, now, Abyss being Zonk squad's map pick, SLO having chosen attack side here. In regards to their strategy, they've got this double flash initiator comp with frame data on the Raze. What do you think is going to be their primary goal here, especially against this double Senti, double controller comp?
I think with the amount of Senti util, if they're able to flash and get frame data into backside to clear out those Senti players, they can open up enough space for SLO to get onto site. And it looks like there will be a fast A split, 2 players up through mid into vents immediately. And they're going to break out and find Hoy in heaven. Challenger stuck in backside.
Yep, SLO found that timing, caught Hoy with wall in their hands.
Launching smoke.
Meanwhile, the rest of Zonk moving up through mid. 2 players going for a flank will get stopped by a trip, and Sabati coming in through heaven, ready to throw util into A main.
SLO immediately prepared to deal with this flank, though, as they commit all of their players towards fighting it. And now the fight happens on site here. Through the smoke, Jess does grab challengers.
Takedown mid starts. Span is in on the bomb.
Sabati left alone in a 1 versus 3, and SLO are going to take this pistol round against Zonk's map pick of Abyss.
I mean, that was a great start for SLO. They just went fast through mid, found player in heaven. Challenger had no chance to come back into the site. And then, once again, that post-plant util just spamming from A main with 3 ghosts, so there's no tracers for Sabati to take advantage of. Once again, SLO just forming up on this B site. It looks like it's going to be a fast hit, but Zonk is all here to test the fight.
Frame Data with the hero Phantom swings out, grabs 1. Kobos there for the trade, but Echo Heli grabs 2. We've hit into a stack and we're winning this round out. Dax does pick up Echo Heli.
Gecko Flash from Ultra just barely not able to see Dax. Swinging out, finding a right click onto Jess, I believe. Oh, no, it was
Overwhelming attack side from SLO with this double initiator comp, as well as the raise on Frame Data.
SLO are doing a great job of just speeding up past all the Senti util that would usually deny teams from coming onto the site. This is an interesting wall. Previously we saw from MBT they tried to do a cross on B, Kobos finding a pick, but is about to get swarmed by SLO.
There.
With that top-up angle as Frame Data swings out, that top angle from Kobos was really strong to get that pick, but unfortunately left on the low HP.
Deploying.
Zonk are posting up for this explosive retake here. Owl Drone's going to spot one, but not going to get any tags. And we see the molly from Brimstone high in the sky as SLO are looking to allow themselves some extra timing to poise up, and Frame Data catches Sabati out in the window. We have the Sage Wall for this. Hoy walling up against this line here. That's a beautiful wall for this defuse.
I don't think there's anything Jess can do.
We have a disconnect from Jess.
Oh no!
We're going to drop the round. But we are going to be needing a tech pause here as Jess has an accidental DC. Let's talk about that Sage Wall there from Ahoy. An absolutely amazing counter to that danger plant.
Absolutely. And where normally most teams would run like a harbor to cove on top of bomb, that wall is so thick that I don't think even with like an Odin you wouldn't be able to break through it in time to stop a defuse. Once again, SLO, they're making their site hits work. Everyone just coming up onto site, fast flooding past all the util, getting onto site, finding the couple site players that were there, Kobos solo on that previous round.
Say what, from both sides, we're seeing some really, really strong play. I think I had mentioned before, committing to the plan, regardless of whether it is optimal or otherwise, but committing to it and playing it to its fullest potential. Zonk with this double sentinel non-duelist comp, able to just slice up the space as well as they can. Hoy with that Sage Wall and such, and then of course SLO with their heavy aggression, double flash initiator plus brimstone stim beacon.
Absolutely, and it looks like Jess has reconnected and we're getting back into the game. It's good. It looks like from Zonk, they're just stacking all the Sentis over towards A, and I'm counting Viper as a Senti.
We have a little bit of a read here. A heavy, heavy defensive stack. Here we go, heading into round 4. Quiet start on the overall. SLO just being able to take this A main space. Of course, Zonk has their full setup on A site.
They might be, yeah, they're getting frame data up into this A main space to get the raise ult.
And here we
Here it
go,
comes
gets
Hoy.
shut down with the showstopper in hand!
Sensor trick.
Hoy on top site.
And for the first time, SLO have been stumped by the Senti Util over on A.
Oh, is Hoy thinking about making this jump here?
They might try and wall out, go around the ledge.
Yeah,
Once the
pretty
wall
special.
goes down,
Ultra
Jack
taking
finds
major
one.
damage.
Down A.
Bomb down in full vision of 2 Senti players holding on top of it.
Hoy
That
was
might
really
actually be the
excited to
round.
find that timing.
Yeah, they wall off the bomb.
Effectively locking down the round since we have Sabati controlling through mid. Oh, but Echo Heli finds an angle.
30 seconds left.
Gets that pick on the Dax, making this a 2 versus 4 instead of 5. Still a very difficult round. Still a checkmate. But
I think
coordinating
Hoy's
this retake.
Go Heli finds the pick. Challenger deciding to back up and not try and contest this bomb any further.
10
Low as we are on
seconds left.
time. SLO still trying to make this
Enemy
happen.
remaining.
Challengers crouched underneath
down
Heaven,
A.
grabs 2 for the 3K.
All enemies
Putting
accounted
Zonk
for. Ult
even
over there.
2-2 with SLO.
They think themselves are equals.
I think that's exactly what Zonk needed to get back into this game.
Yeah,
The Senti Util over on A was worked out perfectly. Boy able to find an early pick, and then the stun stopping anyone from trading it out.
we're putting SLO on a bit of an eco here as well.
Absolutely.
fight is ours to win.
I think by the time SLO was able to get guns in hand, Zonk will have almost 3 ults online. Maybe even 4. Kobas 1 off. Dax is 2 away as well as Boy.
Mid pressure is going to be strong here as Zonk have effectively cleared out all of the middle area. They're now able to put again this 3 stack on A.
It's going to be a fast rotate by SLO, all grouping up over on this B site. They've managed to identify the weak site. No one really here except for Kobas.
And here we go. SLO making their execute onto site, shooting Ultra's Dizzy getting shot out. But we're still going to take site here fully. SLO, we're going to get this plant down in the same position as before. We've seen what happens when they plant here against a Sage. If they can't
Spike planted.
manage to pick off Hoy before the retake comes in. There it is. Hoy's going to go down.
Oh my god, Ivy Reach-through. 2 with the Marshal so far.
As the retake comes in, frame data does grab 1, but here comes the refrags. Now 2 versus 2.
One enemy remaining.
Dax with the
Player
pick on.
standing.
Challengers can't nail the deadlock ultimate.
Thrifty.
Swings out. Ivy Richu for the 4K. Making this a 1 round for SLO here.
What a round by Ivy Richu. 2 Marshal shots to shut down full guns, and then clutching it out with another 2. It's a critical round. Winning a thrifty, putting
We're seeing pretty even odds from either team now. Their potential to win these rounds.
absolutely. SLO off to a good start, looking to turn the Zonk's map pick against them. Once again, it's early aggression up into A main, securing the orb to start with.
Ultra shooting out that mid vent, adding some additional pressure on towards the A site.
But it's a bit of a fake. They're all regrouping over towards B. But Zonk has the read, 4 players rotating over.
Difficult. We didn't have as much poise towards the B site to make it happen as quickly. Kobos is alone, trying to defend site by themselves, but Frame Data is in there for the pick. And again, we're going to see this plant go down in the same spot. We're going to have to pick off Boy before this retake comes in. That Sage Wall is lethal on the retake.
Molly.
Sabata getting that pick into B bend.
And Thrash is back online as well as a breach ult. Denying any sort of post or diffuse here.
Last player standing.
Here we go. Estella, we're going to make their picks as this retake comes in from Hoy. We're going to see the resurrection happen onto
Player
Dax.
standing.
And it goes unpunished as Hoy even gets the pick onto Jess, swinging out.
There's
All
no
we have
wall
left.
here in play. They think they're up in heaven.
One
Boy
enemy
dodges the
remaining.
breach ult.
Takes this pick, gets Dax off the spike. Forces Dax to jump off.
Don't me again.
Fortunately, I don't think that denies the ult point for Ivy Richu. So, still securing the round. Strong ults up for SLO. His body 1 off their Sova ult.
We've got timeout for Zonk Squad here. What do you think they're talking about here? I mean, obviously Ivy Richu hit some insane clutch plays in those past 2 rounds now.
I mean, I think they've been doing a great job of holding A, but SLO have been able to take the A orb, and there's no way for Zonk to re-clear that space. They've just been giving up both B side and A main, and because of that, they have to worry about a rotate from either side of the maps. And with SLO's fast hit out onto site being their go-to strat, it makes it even more deadly to be unsure of where the hit's going to come from. So I'd love to see Sova come into A heaven, maybe hold the dart, wait for them to do something in A main, and then re-clear it either with dart or drone.
Yeah, I mean, Zonk are kind of relying on making sure that they get the read before the round even starts on where SLO wants to end up. You're absolutely right that they have very little ways of actually getting mid-round information apart from the Sova utility. So putting that to good use outside of mid is going to be their best bet. I think I completely agree with you there.
And over on B, I think Kobos has been playing really aggressively, and they punished him for being in that aggressive position every time.
Another thing I'd love to see is this. We've got all this aggression into A main, but we're not pushing through B. We're not clearing out that space, allowing us to rotate and fully hold A site.
Site hit will be on A this time. Wall comes
Frame
out.
Data investing the showstopper, satcheling around. Can't find anybody with it though. Here comes in the grav net from Challengers. Does catch Frame Data, but Frame Data still gets 2, including the showstopper, as we overheat into CT. SLO
Spike planted.
taking so much space here after this plant goes down.
Gun here.
So SLO not afraid to fight for CT control like that.
Not at all.
They realize that Zonk is on a bit of a weaker buy, with stronger guns in favor of them taking those fights.
One enemy remaining.
We love the up and over strat from Ivy Richu getting that kill. Frame Data for the 3K as well. Another dominant round for Silly Little Oppers.
Absolutely. Once again, they're uncertain on whether or not they're coming onto the site. By the time they realize it, it's already too late. Frame Data's made it around the side. They've broken past that wall that usually would stop teams from rushing out.
Yeah, the big drawback to these Sentinel walls is if they're caught early enough, they just get destroyed instantly.
Absolutely. And with the SLO's style of just stacking 4 on whichever side they're going to hit, those walls shatter almost instantaneously.
Some early damage coming in from SLO. Once again, these aggressive hits come in here. Zonk are forced to play the gunfights. They do grab 1, but Ivy Richu with the aftershock grabs Dax for it. Kobos getting traded out for 1, leaving a 2 versus 2 here.
Trades go pretty even, but Jess and Ultra have some strong post-plant util. Molly's on both of them. They just fired it straight up. And
Got
Grim
it.
ult as well from Jess. Be extremely difficult for Hoyer and Challenger to come into.
Yeah, we didn't have the Sage Wall last time on the retake, but we do now. But unfortunately, that's not going to be even nearly as effective against this Brimstone ultimate.
One enemy remaining.
But does a great job of baiting out the Brimstone ult. Challenger pushing up on the right side and does find Jess.
The
A good
wall goes
round
up,
for Zonk.
dragging Jess's attention with the Sage Wall allows challengers to make that timing. Really, really strong team play we're seeing from Zonk here for that retake.
Absolutely. I mean, Kobos and Dax did a great job. They didn't try and take the fights early. They let them up a little bit, picking off whoever overpeaked into their own angles. One of those rounds from SLO where they're not working as one single squad. It's more like two duos. And from the firepower over on Zonk, that's a fight they're willing to take.
Mm-hmm. Once again, similar playstyle. SLO just allowing, or Zonk allowing SLO to take this A main space. They're not too worried about it, even though the does give the potential orb.
I think Frame Data's on like 2 ults so far. Ultra now upped. They will break this wall, putting pressure on A players, but it's gonna be a B lean. Echo Heli has just been on this B site, holding all the space, watching for someone to push out. With Brash, I don't think anyone who's on site is going to be able to contest it.
You're going to see Thrash coming in from SLO to clear out the B site entirely. And Zonk opting, posed up for the retake. Dax gets out just barely.
Dax has been flooded. Molly comes in on the default plant, but it's not able to deny Bomb getting down.
Here.
Kobos picked off, trying to get an early fight.
4 versus 5 on the retake here. Dax does grab 1 to even out those numbers, but Frame Data grabs 2 through the wall!
What a spam to get 2. And the Molly comes out. It's a bit off. Tap
One enemy
to
remaining.
bait out some peaks. The Viper ult on top of it. Dax sticking the bomb. Spotty just holding the line, stopping them from being able to spam and find any damage onto Dax.
Questionable on investing the Viper Pit into that round, but you can't argue with the results that we get when we win the round for it.
Absolutely. I think it's worth spending the Viper ult there. Every round you can get, even if you're spending an ult, is one worth getting.
Sound sensor up.
Boy, one off res. Not really able to find value unless someone goes down in a resable spot. Meanwhile, over on SLO, they're going to post up towards B. It might just be another fast B hit. Kobos stuck back site.
Concealment.
Once again, we see SLO making these fast hits happen, drawing instant rotates from Zonk. But Kobos holding on site on the other side of this wall. Unprepared for it. Kobos grabs 1. Make it 2. Dax for another. They get traded out on site, though. 3 versus 2 on the retake. Frame Data pushing the showstopper in into the B-Link area. Does grab challengers for it.
Last player standing.
Sabati hoping to swing off when they're unaware, but Ivy Richu's ready for it. Frame Data for the 3K. SLO take round 10, 6-4.
That looked so good for Zonk, but a great reaction from SLO. Frame Data immediately popping the ult to find a pick back. And then just good gunfights from both players to secure that round. Still, it's 4-6 in favor of SLO. Zonk's able to secure these last 2 rounds. Still could be a close game going on to attack side.
Zonk squad on a bit of an eco here. Sheriffs and armor is all they got. Looking to make some space. Hoy grabs that pick, but gets traded out. Even that one pick is going to be big as Dax holding this judge right outside on A.
Off your feet!
He
Rolling
dodged
Thunder.
the ult. What?
Rolling Thunder comes through. Oh my god, Frame Data makes the turn happen, kills Dax for it. And Sabati gets an even trade out from Ultra.
The troops are down. They might not be expecting this flank to be so fast. SLO is doing a good job of taking early CT space, sticking together as a group.
Zonk pushing the double flank here, unaware that all 3 SLO players are up in heaven.
Gets a hand. Get their hands on a gun.
One enemy remaining.
Finds one. All down to Kobos with 1 health. Not able to close out the round.
Can't make it happen. Ultra for the 3K happening here.
Last round in the
SLO
half.
secured a safe 1-point advantage at the very least. But it will be an even buy for this last round. Heavy ult advantage in the favor of Zonk.
Up I go. Right there.
Got is that just a shorty on Frame Data right now?
Sound sensor up.
There's the op.
Oh, there's the operator. Okay.
They got some extra guns on the ground because their econ's so good. The last couple rounds they've had Thrash. They've gone for a fast B hit. Kobos in this aggressive angle, but they're expecting some sort of aggression. Sabati wins out that fight against Ivy Reacher.
Early swing will always prevail there. You find Zonk are going to take that man advantage, and they're just going to play back as far as they can. Try not to allow for much contact. Dax getting some chip damage on the operator. Oh, but Frame Data is there to make the kill with the op.
That's going to even up numbers. For honestly, in the favor of SLO, attacker side is usually wanting to come into rounds with even numbers.
Well, we are going to see that res happen.
They baited this round perfectly. SLO all moving towards A site. It's just Sabati at the moment. Dax now here. Bit hesitant to commit to the site though.
30 seconds left.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Here we go with the site hit now. Ultra thrashing through A site, clearing off the site for them, but not clearing heaven. Dax with the kill from the Viper Molly. Frame Data down. Now in a 5 versus 3 Zonk squad.
Sabati waiting for the bomb to go down. It's going to commit the ult here.
10 seconds left.
Oh, Sabati just barely in the bomb plant.
Nothing
Ult
there.
now forced to stick plant or risk losing the round for their team.
Spike planted.
Kobos combining with Boy there to find the CT players putting up. That will be a 5-7 half in the favor of SLO.
Now we're going to be seeing, Zonk squad are taking a moment to talk and discuss their attack plan, mental recollection. And I think it's their attack side where they're going to be really shining here.
Absolutely. Be interesting to see how SLO deals with... Okay, yeah. How they deal with the no duelist comp, and if Zonk is able to make it past all the flash util
Switching
from
sides.
SLO.
We are strong because we are together. Don't forget that.
Right there.
All right, we're seeing early on this defense stack here, or the defense composition.
Right there.
3 players towards A site, looking to make that space for the team.
Yeah, they're just gonna immediately contest for that space. Dax solo mid, just gonna set up the orb while the rest of Zonk head over to B. Fightful, I believe, lets them walk all the way up without being seen. So it'll be interesting to see how they work around it.
And Zonk doing their best to give no contact here. This Viper Wall hiding as much as they can. The Sovadart's going to come out show Ultra's position, falling back here. Not playing to hold the B site here, playing for retake.
Dak spotted a mid. The lurk now known.
Right there.
Echo's still on A. Super late to this retake. Basically still a 4v4 retake on site.
Oh boy, the
wall
wall up.
Any of SLO's players from coming out. Doctor dealing decent damage against a lot of the players.
The retakes come in. Hoy swings out and grabs one in heaven. Traded out by Echo Heli.
One enemy remaining.
Retakes come in. Kobos grabs 2. Echo Heli left with low HP here.
Toxins going up.
Oh, there's so much post-plant util for him. Kobos with the suck onto the bomb. Goes spamming from heaven. And there's no time.
This is where Zonk Squad are going to find the maximum value out of their team composition. If SLO can't find what they need to hold site properly, and when I say properly, just to hold site and make these trades as Zonk Squad comes out onto site, they're going to run into some real trouble trying to retake.
Yeah, well, most teams go for post-plant util with mollies. It looks like Zonk is favoring just walling off any site entrance, denying SLO from coming in.
Yeah, basically able to force it so that whenever the retake forces come in, the timer is already low enough that the Astra Gravity Well will prevent it enough. The eco play to walk down mid. Dax gets caught out. Kobos grabs 2! Zonk Squad in a 3 versus 2 now. SLO having gotten all the value that you normally expect. 2 kills on this save round.
Counter alone with the bomb. If they go down here, it could be a little bit awkward, but they are able to hold their ground, find the last 2 from SLO. The Bulldog reacquired.
There it is. Zonk Squad evening up the scoreline here.
It's a pretty decent buy altogether for Zonk. 2 Bulldogs, a Guardian, Sheriff, and a Stinger. Definitely a threat to SLO's full buy. And Zonk has managed to tie it up. If they're able to win this bonus, it will put them in good standings for this map. Quick push up into mid. Hoy immediately into vents, breaks both sides and walls off heaven. It looks like it is actually a fake. They're going to work back towards mid. Leaves Echo Heli all alone, getting pincered from both sides.
Deep control's going to pay off as Hoy and Kobos flood through. And now once again, we've got this utility up in heaven. That deadlock wall is so strong. Frame data catching Dax. Now a 4 versus 4.
And the flood comes out from SLO. Great util into the backside area.
Oh, frame data with a nade kill onto Hoy. But this is big.
Ultra's
Just
delayed coming out heaven, and that gives Challenger timing. 2v2 for the post plant. Peek out. Spotty wins the fight against Ivy Richu. Wingman's on the bomb. All down to Ultra.
Wingman getting destroyed. Now a 2 versus 1. We just have to swing off this contact. Kobos grabbing Ultra. Making it 8-7. Zonk winning their bonus round here.
Timeout out from SLO. What do you think they're going to be talking about here?
SLO, I mean, in regards to their defense, I'm hoping that they're talking about holding site, not giving up any space, because that's, like I've said, I've playing against Zonk Squad, playing against this comp, subbing out Sova for Sky. It's really something, like understanding how strong this post plant potential is, because they can even kill Wingman with a gravity well. They've got shock darts, they've got vulnerables, they've got everything that they could ever want, Zonk Squad, to make these post plants work. If you give them sight, whether it's 5v5 or even 5 versus 4, the 4 team being retake, you'll have a hard time you'll have a hard time making it happen. However, they don't have a lot of initiation util, right? They've got the drone, they've got the recon dart, and maybe some Astra utility. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty difficult site take if we have good rotates from SLO, if we have good site holds from SLO.
Absolutely. I could also see SLO trying to go for fast aggression out of one of the mains, and then just wrapping around. If Zonk is going to stop the defense from coming in CT with walls, it might turn into a trap where they're not able to leave site and face into the full force of
Right there.
SLO. Looks like that's actually going to happen. 4 players coming out of B main. Zonk make their way onto A site.
Once again, that drone is going to clear out the entirety of A site. Zonk are going to get on site for free. Now, this flank does have potential here. Oh, Kobos falling off the map. That's going to be big.
Oh, no.
And here we go. SLO pushing that flank. They're going to trade 2 for 1. Oh, but
He fights 2 lining up.
sprays down and gets 2.
The remaining players for Zonk are a bit split. Challenger finds Echo Heli.
Pulling that timing as well against Echo Heli. Absolutely. Breaking the wingman. Again, putting Ultra in a 2 versus 1. Can't make it happen. Once that plant goes down, Zonk have their win condition and they can just play as comfortably as ever.
Absolutely. But I think heroics from Sabati stopping the flank from coming in. Sabati goes down. There's nowhere for Zonk to go. They're going to be completely forced into that backside, pincered from all angles. The wall is now favoring the defender's side. Deadlock ult is up here. It'd be interesting to see what they use it for. Maybe just identifying where someone's standing and immediately finding a pick off it.
I mean, maybe, but I still vote towards they use it for post plant. SLO's team composition with these initiators, with the showstopper, they are designed to retake. But the problem is Zonk is anti-retake themselves.
There.
We have unstoppable force meets immovable object, but SLO pushing out early, making this amazing kill with 2. Ivy Richu getting 2.
That was exactly what I was talking about during the timeout. SLO just need to take that early space. They find 2 on the flank. And now it's awkward for Zonk walking up onto site.
Yeah, they make it as hard as possible for Zonk to take a site. They're going to do so much better. And that's what we're seeing here.
Found my cage triggered.
Kobos and Challengers on the B site now, hoping to get this plant down. Challengers gets caught, the spike goes down. Echo Heli holding strong.
Actually trying to come in with the flank, but it's a little bit too late.
Up and over from Ultra, the best strat on Abyss.
Screen down.
Mid pick from Dax, but
seconds left.
it's gonna be, yeah, like you said, too little too late. In a 1 versus 4 now.
I think Dax is just going to go for a save here. Very
Completely
low money
understandable.
on the side of Zonk. Challenger does have a decent amount, though. They might be able to drop a gun to
10
Kobos and
seconds
have
left.
sort of an even buy going across the board.
We've got these ultimates as well. Plant denial is going to be the name of the game here for SLO. And if they find that, if they hold to it, I mean, they found it this round. Let's hope they can latch onto that. Let's hope they recognize that.
Right there.
Absolutely. But if I was Zonk, I'd be worried. SLO holding onto both a breach ult and a gecko ult. Both really strong for pushing back Zonk in that post-plant situation. They could also use it very aggressive. Just immediately ult a main, catch out any players that were trying to contest it early.
Sound sensor up.
Oh, I love this from SLO. The early push out. Kobos just grab 1 though. Even while stunned, they're
stunned
cosmetic
too.
as hell.
Concealment right there. Right there.
Let's go!
Investing Rolling Thunder. Ivy Richu is taking no prisoners here.
Dax and Sabati fighting these 2 players outside B main. Hoi has made it all the way through mid somehow. And Challenger has a great flank on these players.
Deadlock
Ultimate
comes
down.
in, grabs
Catches
Ivy Richu.
And Hoi with the flank finding 1 on site. A 4v2. Really awkward for both teams. Looks like SLO or Zonk will move towards this B site. Both players for SLO are in position to contest.
Last player standing.
Screen down.
Zonk showing that they're not all about these post plant plays. They can win if being pushed up directly. Those gunfights are theirs to win.
Absolutely. That looks so good for SLO though. The immediate stun onto
did.
Cobos and frame data coming in. That should have been a kill 100% of the time, but Cobos is just too good.
Cobos just hits those. Yeah, that early push. That's really what we want to see more often from SLO. But unfortunately, stuns are cosmetic. Unfortunately, Deadlock has ult. The timing of it all just did not line up for SLO. Ooh, that early spray.
Take damage onto frame data. I think they were planning to go for maybe a Razor combo into this main space, but now that frame data has been knocked down so low, it's not as safe an option.
And now we just have both teams stuck in a standstill. Challengers able to hold this A main space while the rest of their team rotates out. We've still got 3 defenders on A right now. And there we go. We've started some rotations now. As SLO are looking for any potential picks they can get before this site hit happens. It looks like they've reverted back towards their primary defense protocol.
Yeah, it looks like Zonk is posturing for an A hit here.
You are divided.
3 players are in position. Strong trips.
30 seconds left.
And the Razor will come out.
Frame data
Cobos
does
wants
grab
a kill.
Cobos. Trades themselves.
You will not kill my ally.
And the resurrection from Hoy. That's going to be big. 5 versus 4 with 17 seconds left in the round, though. Challenger swinging out even with the Cypher trap wire. Gets the pick. Echo Heli left alone on site. Gets one before being traded. Sabati gathering another. Ultra looking a little bit confused there before getting that pick.
Yeah, the wall from Hoy might have just saved the round for Zonk. If it wasn't there, the ult out of heaven could have taken up Dax, and that would have been the end of that round. So little time.
Ultra blocked off by this deadlock wall. Thrash is going to get no value, and Ultra is going to be forced to save. Zonk have found, once again, they hit their win condition, and they do. They win.
I mean, I think SLO is so close to making these rounds winnable. Every time Zonk comes onto site, they do find players look in the opposite direction. The util is connecting with people, but it's just not quite enough.
We'll have to find our timings, our potential to push through our main spaces and actually truly like push Zonk into a corner effectively.
Absolutely.
That goes there.
I mean, the post plant on this round could be diabolical. Body sitting on Sova ult.
Yeah, this is something special here.
Dax is 2 away. They grab orb, plant the bomb.
Zonk squad wasting no time taking site here. That tripwire is not going to find anybody since it's posted up danger right now, and we're going for our meta main plant.
Absolutely, but SLO fast on this flank.
Cypher removed.
There it is, the opening pick onto Echo Heli. Again, SLO opting for the fast flank or the retake play, but Zonk are prepared for it. This is what they're designed for. Ivy Richu left alone.
Critical for this. There's just not enough people and not enough guns for SLO to make it work.
What a shot from Ivy Richu to get that pick on challengers before going down. But that's going to be match point Zonk squad here.
Let's make them hurt.
12-8. SLO is going to need to make The problem is they need to make a rapid adaptation to their playstyle, understanding that if Zonk does take site, they lose the round every time without fail. And if they can't make that change now, they're not going to get another chance to.
Do you think Zonk's just gonna commit all their ults this round? They're gonna say this is the last one.
I'd say there's no reason not to. Truly, if we get on site, if we make our play, obviously don't do anything different. No hero plays.
Right there.
But if it can help us get onto site and play our win con, there's no reason not to commit to it. Jess is not going to spot Hoy working through the vents here.
They managed to split almost all the way up mid.
Wall raised.
All the A player is now forced to go through spawn if they want to join for the retake here.
And here it is. The ultimates come in. Jess getting caught out by Deadlock's ultimate. By Annihilation. Echo Heli grabbing 1 and B Link, but gets immediately traded out. And Zong Squad have found their 4 versus 3 post plant as SLO come up all on the flank. We even up the numbers here, and we're going to see the Viper's pick come down from Dax. But it's not going to get any value for where our defenders are coming from.
I think Dax just wants to make sure that the flank through CT is not an option.
It's an unfamiliar retake situation that Zonk have not possibly not prepared for. So Body gets a pick, but Ivy Richu trading out for 2, 1 versus 1 on site. Ultra gets the pick. SLO are still in this mat.
That's a very interesting Viper ult. I think they were worried that there might be a CT flank still coming. Not all the players for SLO spotted just yet, but it was a great push in. Forcing it down to a 1v1 did make it a little bit sketchy. Buy across for SLO. It's a little bit weak. 2 Guardians, light armor on a lot of the players.
But we do have our 3 ultimates here. We've got the Breach, Cypher, Brim ultimate. That's a lot of plant denial that we can get down, and that's going to be the name of the game against Zonk Squad's comp. If we can maximize the value out of this utility, maximize our macro, we should be good to go. Here we are once again.
Pushing out space. Main space.
And stayed down.
Oh, we do lose Ivy Richu, but we've got Thrash up and running now. We're going to invest it immediately. Ultra investing Thrash, but it gets canceled out by the Shock Dart. Frame data there to make another kill. But Hoy coming in through mid. Making this 4 versus 2. Walking into the smoke, but Echo Heli's there to hold it. There's the plant denial game coming in. Orbital strike there.
Yeah, Brimstone ult to deny the plant.
Spike planted.
Giving us a little bit more time to come back onto site here.
There's the plant. SLO swinging out into this place. Dax and Kobos are there together, making those kills happen. 13-9. Zonk are going to take Abyss and the series. What an amazing series today. First we have Zonk not only taking Lotus, which was SLO's pick, but we also have them taking their own pick of Abyss with their team comp. SLO unfortunately just their comp not designed to play against Zonk. We had a bit of a lineup there. The retake comp from SLO, double initiator plus Raze and Brimstone. Retake central with that composition, and unfortunately Zonk's comp was just designed to play against that.
Absolutely, they just had the perfect set of util to cover all the options. I think overall both teams played really well here, but Zonk just seemed to have their team coordination down a lot stronger. No one taking early picks, or no one giving up early picks, and they had very strong default plays where they play for either post plant or after they got their bomb down, contesting early CT space.
But we got to remember that's not the end of either Minis Val team nor Silly Little Operas. We are going to see them, I believe, tomorrow in the lower quarters.
I believe that's true. I don't remember who they're playing against. I think one of them is definitely up against Rat, and then the other one is
yes,
MBT.
That's going to be Silly Little Oppers versus Mouse House, and Minis Val team are going to go up against the Tigers.
Interesting.
So we've got some really, really fun matchups there to happen. All things considered, absolutely amazing matches today. Obviously, Zonk was, I believe, higher on the seeding, expected to win. But earlier today, with the Delete Haters taking down MVT of all, what an amazing upset that made to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, Zonk are in position. I believe they're third seeding in the overall placements,
Yes.
and so they're favored to beat SLO. But I think it was a confident win over SLO on Lotus that sort of set the tone.
Yeah, they may call it slotus, but that doesn't change the fact that Zonk does their homework whenever possible. Of course, the strong playmaking behind Dax and Hoy, not to take the attention off of any other Zonk player, because they all put together an amazing set of games today. But standout performances from either player, Hoy and Dax, Kolbas as well.
Absolutely. I think overall, just every single player from Zonk was playing well today.
Do we get an interview? Is that something that we can do? We have time for? I mean, if we have one of Zonk's team members willing to do so, we can pull them in for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'd love to get pick their brain on how they were counter-stratting SLO on Lotus to have such a confident win over them.
Yeah, I mean, SLO having their having their game plan of timing their util correctly, Zonk were just able to really like read it and make their counters to it. I mean, if we have a Hoy interview coming in here pretty soon, that'd be pretty interesting.
Oh, hello.
Welcome, Hoy. Congratulations and GGs to you and your team.
Yep.
I think we're getting Challenger as well. Oh boy.
Double interview. Or is Challenger here?
Yeah.
I'm not like the PR guy.
I'll try to wrangle Hoy in so he doesn't say anything too crazy.
Yeah.
Understandable. So real quick, just touching on the first map that you guys played up on Lotus. Obviously, Silly Little Oppers are kind of known for their Lotus gameplay. What was the mindset heading into that match? What were you guys thinking?
Well, actually, I think we expected them. We expected them to ban Abyss, just based off of their performance in the Abyss tourney. So we were expecting them, the map veto. I'm scrolling up. We were expecting the map veto to go with us banning Ascent, slow banning Abyss, and then we were gonna. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say we were gonna pick into them. And then we expected them to pick. What is it?
Expected Lotus for sure.
Yeah.
But...
We did not expect them to like give us Abyss, especially considering their 3-3 performance in the Abyss tourney, which is pretty nice for scouting, if I'm gonna be honest. And I actually went through the VODs. Yeah, it was me, not Kobas. I think it was it was actually the game they played against us, and I just went round by round, looked through their setups. And what I noticed on their A reclear that their Gecko Molly missed like that tiny corner of rubble. So
you know, Kobas, when you were with your family, we did the VOD review without you, so you did on your own time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was pretty good. But just because we noticed they weren't fighting for A and surround start that much, they preferred like their C take into like A reclear. And just based on the fact that their reclear util was breakable, like the Gecko Flash and the Fade Eye, so I just came up with the idea to just save our Omen Flash and then just flash them as they're trying to come out of the one way, and it worked. The one round we actually did it.
That's a pretty good adaptation. That's really strong stuff.
Fortunately, we only got to use it once.
Well, that's the only time it matters, the one time.
And then
Yeah.
obviously not attempting to draw any sort of secret tech or ideas, but I'd say
God.
all of Underpeel has seen your Abyss team comp by
Yeah.
now. What's the thinking behind that? We've got double Sensi, double controller, no flashes, no duelist.
Oh, okay. Wait. So let me pick up the
Now,
lore.
now I know you guys had Sabati on Sky
Yeah.
earlier on in the season.
I think the lore. Basically, when we originally cooked it up, I was thinking I was gonna ask Kobos if we're gonna play like triple controller because I thought like the map is still pretty spam heavy, but you can somewhat play on site. And so I was like, let's play triple controller. Put me and Omen as duelist, and we're gonna run Harbor and we're gonna run Astra. And Kobos was like, wait, no. Like we're gonna just put me on Sage
Yeah, the
instead
Battle
of
Sage.
Harbor. And I mean, obviously challengers are resident like Deadlock one trick basically. Not one trick, but he enjoys playing Deadlock.
All right.
And Saba was like, all right, well since we're playing double controller, double Senti, because we found the some pretty strong Viper stuff, well, we thought was pretty strong, that just kind of our comp ended up pushing out. And we did end up changing Kasova, mostly just because of how hard we got info starve in our MVT game.
Mm-hmm.
And our reasoning was we just kind of needed more rechargeable utility because when we were playing Sky, we had the only rechargeable utility we had was Viper Fuel and Sage Fuel.
Right.
So like any utility we used to fight for space was just gone forever. But now that we have like a Sova Dart, we have like something left to fight with.
That's pretty understandable. I like the thinking behind that.
And then also just the walls itself. Just if we get on site, just delays a lot.
Right.
Especially versus like Eco.
You effectively force the retake to be on a time crunch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this new thing that Kovas did where we would double wall one choke is actually new because like especially on our A hit, like we're kind of known for like deadlock walling CT, Sage walling Heaven. But if we choose to double wall like one of the entry points, it just forces them all to flood into Red Choke and they're basically just playing attack, you know?
Right. That's some pretty cool stuff. Penguin, any questions for them?
I just was wondering on your Lotus gameplay, how were you? So you definitely came in with some VOD reviews. So you had some anti-stratting in mind. How did you adapt to anything that they tried to flip on you?
I don't really remember the game that much, but I think one thing that really did improve our chances of them is I think we kind of like copied Essel in a way, in that we were a lot more willing to just give up the C site when we were fighting for A, because in our last match, the 13-11 in group stage, usually what would happen is if they were fighting for A and they were reclearing C, what would happen is would like be kind of confused whether we were playing to hold or play retake, and like Challenger or Dax would kind of just be left to the wolves. But we were just able to kind of like clean up our team macro, I would say, and just like play coordinated, and that's just kind of what helped us get this decently dominant 13-7.
All right.
All right. Well, honestly, thank you guys for coming in for the interview. GG's to you again today.
Wait, we're ignoring the elephant in the room here. You guys aren't gonna ask like how our prep's gonna change now that we're facing WDH in the upper finals.
Well, I was gonna wish y'all good luck and hope. I mean, certainly we can ask about that. As far as all things considered, you guys are going up against WDH, who just earlier today took down MVT and sent them to the lower bracket.
You jumped out.
What's the mindset heading into that next match?
I think it's definitely harder to anti-strat, especially because before I was actually doing the SLO thing, I was doing some prep for MVT's Abyss. But I think Penflash already kind of exploited that, and so I think it's just really harder to anti-strat in general. Just because there's much less.
Not saying any strats, but like we usually kind of come up with things with a fly, but
sure.
I don't think it's that bad, Challenger.
No, I mean, we're a very adaptable team, so.
Wait, whoa, Penflash is asking for their prep? I don't know, man. That's kind of like classified information.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
obviously we come in with a plan, but we're very adaptable.
I'm gonna leak it. Our strat is we're just shoot them in the head.
That's also true.
That's a pretty good strategy, I gotta say. That is how you
The
win.
best way I said it, I was like thinking to myself is like maybe it's like a rock paper scissors situation that they beat MVT for us, so they'll just beat them, and then
Gotcha.
And
The
then we'll be
triangle
the ones with the 2-map ban.
They've cleared the road ahead for you. Is that it?
yeah. So now we have the
I don't know. I mean,
we're
I
gonna play
definitely
rock while they play scissors. I don't know.
Wait, why'd you say rock paper scissors down? Wait, we're screwed. We got Dax in our team. Sorry guys, it's been a nice season. I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, you guys said that like Sabati wasn't like part of our squad, but like she like took that break like for Potato because she was on vacation.
Yeah.
So I think he
Dax. Yeah.
But other than that, we'll do our homework, watch the matches, and then play adaptable Valorant.
Yeah,
Basically how
thankfully
we
for
always
us-
do it.
Thankfully for us, there are at least a couple of WDH mods out there.
Yeah, I mean, headed into the upper finals here, y'all have minimum 2 more series to go. Of course, my coin flip is rooting for y'all to win it all. So I do hope that's how the outcome of the next couple weeks are. But anything left for?
Well, okay.
Anything left to leave?
Actually, so I've been talking about my cousin because I got him into watching Underpeel since Masters Finals or Masters 2 Finals versus MVT. I roped him into watching, and he sent me his pick'em, and it was actually I think it was like one of the very few pick'ems that had WDH winning over MVT in the upper bracket.
All right.
I'll see if I can send it in Underpeel leagues. Let's see if the
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure the predictions chat should take that kindly. The pick'em chat.
I'll just say one controversy of like Pinflash having all the servers to his demise,
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
this guy was a double agent. He planned this the entire thing. He harvested the playbooks before registering. That's our red pill conspiracy theory.
Well, I guess then we gotta hope that y'all are the ones to take it down.
Yeah.
Put an end to it. All right. I imagine we'll be wrapping up here pretty quickly. But thank y'all for coming up for the interview. We're going to be seeing tomorrow the lower quarters, Silly Little Oppers versus Mouse House, Minnie's Val team versus the Tigers. That is going to be an interesting set of matches, and I believe we already have our casters set aside for those. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming down today to watch today's matches. Thank you to the Underpeel staff for having us, Penguin and I, on as casters. Thank you, Penguin, for casting with me. Always a good time.
Yeah, certainly. One of the most fun games to cast so far.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody, take care. Enjoy your evening.
Have a good night.